What's going on, guys? This podcast is brought to you by Marek Health, and I have been working with them for some time now. Now, originally, I got a whole host of blood markers checked. I had my hormones optimized. I had everything explained to me that was going wrong, that we needed to fix. And to be honest with you, this is just something that a regular doctor, family doctor, or most traditional doctors don't want to do, don't want to recommend, or even more so, just don't understand. This is my page. This is the RBP page at marekhealth.com. If you check it out, you see the different lab panels or checkup panels that you can get. Listen, one of the things that is so important about Marek is they treat everybody individually. No two people are the same, and no two people are going to get the same recommendations. This is not a cookie cutter system. This is very individualized, and that is the most important. You're not going to get this type of nuance in any other place that you go to, and that's why I've chosen them to work with. This is about taking a completely healthy athlete and optimizing their nutrition and optimizing their health, optimizing their hormones to make sure they can succeed faster and better than the average guy who does not know what's going on with their body. Guys, check out marekhealth.com/RBP. Use code RBP at checkout and learn how to get your body in sync so you can keep growing and keep being the best you can be. This podcast has been doomed since last week.
Why?
I've changed the time of this podcast like 8 fucking times. And now I think it's just the three of us.
So,
Can we hang with three of us?
fucking right, we can.
Paul's the glue. Paul is the glue of the show, really.
Yeah, where's Paul tonight?
So Paul's getting ready to leave. He's going to BC tomorrow.
For what,
Because
judging?
he's judging a show out there. And Guy is feeling sick.
And
And
you need to be well for it to talk in a podcast.
Suck it up, guy.
in Guy's defense, he's never ever said no to me. So if he's can't do it, that means got to be feeling like shit. He's got to be feeling horrible. So he gets a pass for sure. Anyway,
Okay.
so I think it's the three of us. But Ian, you talk enough for everybody. So
Yeah, I could do the podcast with me, so that's good.
I'm just going to mute myself right now.
Oh, what the fuck? What's going on, guys? How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, we actually had a show this weekend, though.
Who had? Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Is the Arnold South America,
Yeah.
which is anticlimactic at best.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we all assumed Baruz would win that.
I just fucking disappointed that, like, what's the prize money there? Do you know?
Well, probably 10, same as all other shows.
Well, it's an Arnold, so I thought it might be more.
Oh, you're right. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what the prize money was, but I thought, like, even if they're doing like 30 or 40, I'm like, where are all the guys? Like, where's all the guys that are, that are maybe like second tier guys that are trying to get into the first tier? Like, this is the kind of show that you would think they'd want to go do.
It's just a little early in the year, so like a lot of guys don't want to have that stretch from there to the Olympia,
Well, they're not going to have to keep. They're not going to have to keep dieting. Like, they would have done the show, and if they could hang it up. I just think, like, when I was competing, I was a second tier guy. This is the kind of show I would have been looking for. I'd been like, okay, gives me a chance to actually be seen.
Look how Ian looks like he has legitimate shoulder pads on. Did you just get home from practice, man?
Yeah. Got them on. I thought it'd be a good look to the podcast. Green shoulders today, though, so thank you.
That was the first thing. That was the first thing I noticed about Ian when I saw him after he actually started to get big. Because there was a period where Ian jumped from like new pro to like big.
Yeah, because I took all of 17, half of 16, all of 17 off, and came back in 18 like 20 pounds bigger stage.
That makes sense.
That's when I guess pose of your show.
No, but I was going to say there was one year I saw you at the Arnold when I like wasn't competing. We were just there. We were there at the expo.
Yeah,
I think that was 18.
it would have been 18. Yeah,
Yeah, because I competed in 17, and I remember
and
seeing
I
you
was,
going,
I was pretty big there.
yeah, I remember seeing you going, fuck, this guy's the distance from his neck to the edge of his shoulder. It's
Yeah.
like
I remember the first Olympia I went to. So it would have been 17, I guess. Chris and Melissa, not the first one I ever went to, but the first one where I was there like in a capacity other than just spectating. Melissa and Chris were both competing, and I was like right in that off season where I was growing, like right at the peak of it. And I remember being in that Olympia, and I was like a nobody, and I was taking more pictures than I take now because I was like so big. You know, everyone's like, take a picture with this guy, you know?
Yeah, the future.
Yeah. Well, they just didn't know who I was at the Olympia Expo, though. They're just like big guy, like I was that big. They just wanted to take pics.
Get
and
a
I was
photo,
wearing like the tight black V-neck, you know.
You still rock that when you go out?
Oh yeah, it's the only shirt I got.
You love looking huge, eh?
That I have like 4 of this same V-neck, this black one.
Yeah.
It's from fuck, I can't even remember at this
Listen,
point.
I'm gonna a shameless plug. Honest to God, the t-shirts and V-necks from True Classics are fucking awesome.
From who?
True Classics.
Oh.
They're legit, like
I'll try one.
Yeah, they're like, and they're good for us. Like they're nice material. And anyway, I'm not trying to, it's not a sales point, but anyway, so you got 4 V-necks that you wear.
Just black ones, and that's all I wear if I'm like trying to go out and look huge. Yeah.
Mike, do you ever, like I've told Ian this before, whenever I go out, I try and blend in. I try not to be huge, like whether it be the grocery.
You can't be, man. So you just
I know, but like whether I go to the grocery
store, embrace it, man.
No, but like
spandex head to toe.
Whether it's if it's the grocery store or the mall.
Okay, well, I would never wear like a tank top to a grocery store. I wouldn't even wear a tank top in the gym, to be honest. Really, very, very.
I know, but we've talked about this, and you said like if you're at the grocery store and people are looking at you because you're like a freak, you like it.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite. Yeah. I'm like, I'm the opposite. I'm like, fuck. Like they caught me. Like I'm trying to hide.
Yeah, you can't hide it, man.
That's what my wife said.
I honestly get more offended if I feel people can't notice it.
I don't think I've ever been in that position. I've like even now.
No, like if I'm trying to hide it, let's say, and I feel people don't notice, I did a good job hiding. I'm like, fuck, I'm not big enough. I should never be able to hide this. You know.
Mike, my body dysmorphia is so bad that I just think I'm normal size, so I just blend in.
Well, I think we all kind of do, yeah.
Yeah. I told my wife, I'm like, when I wear a hoodie, I fit in, right? She's like, yeah,
yeah.
No, but Mike, are you more like Ian or more like me? Like, do you like not want to be noticed, or do you want to be noticed, or are you indifferent?
No, I just dress comfortable. Like I don't want to. If I wear something that was too tight, I would. It's like my borderline autism kicks in and I can't handle the fucking. I'm just like, it's too tight. It's all I can focus on. Shit, yeah. Like my neck's too tight or the sleeve's too tight. So I just make it a rule to dress comfortable no matter what the occasion.
If people, I think it's a little different for you because you have tattoos everywhere and shit. But if people are staring at you, do you feel like it's because of your tattoos or because you're too big or both, or do you give a shit?
To be honest with you, I forget that I have tattoos, and I also don't register because I don't compete anymore. So I'm not like in my mind like how big am I? So I'm just like I assume they're looking at me because I have a face tattoo because people walking around rocking not too much, but at the same time I don't care because just I'm used to it by now.
Yeah,
it's really odd when people recognize me. I drove down to Rhode Island on the weekend to visit a friend, and we were at a random service station. And this kid came up and asked me for a picture, like in the middle of upstate New York, and I was like. Yeah. And in my mind, I was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, right." Because like, YouTube, TikTok. yeah. Like, in my mind, like, "What the fuck do you want a picture of me for?"
Ian, are you pissing?
No, I'm standing waiting to let my dog in.
Oh, okay. I thought you were taking a leak or something.
No, I'm in like my back door.
Okay, so I don't know where we should go right now because I know you were away, and we were just talking about South America. So we'll come back to the Arnold. You were away to where? Long Island this weekend? Rhode Island?
Rhode Island. Yeah.
Rhode Island.
Yeah. Almost got in a fist fight with a lesbian.
Well, that's where I was. So
I didn't. Sorry.
Walk me through.
I didn't do that. Scratch that.
I'm waiting for the TikTok video to come out. So you said a bunch of people were filming this. I still haven't seen it, but
I've been looking too.
Tell me what happened from A to Z. How did this take place?
So we were in Newport. We were staying at the hotel there. We were just trying to make our way through to get to this like 7-Eleven because I wanted to have my 6th honey bun of the day. Yes, 4 prior to that. So I was like, let's go get another honey bun. Then we're grabbing some other stuff. So it's like a one-way street going north and south, right? So the one-way street has enough room for cars to park on both sides. It's not a narrow one-way.
Yeah.
But like when you get to the top, obviously you can't park. So the person that was in front of us, my girl was driving at the time because I just didn't feel like driving. So this person's in the middle lane with no signal on of the one way, and they can go left, right, straight, wherever they want.
Yeah.
They're just sitting in the middle lane doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I told my girl, I'm like, go around it because we're going right.
Yeah.
As soon as we pull up beside it, this maniac is like, fucking right turn. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, turn the car. So we turn the car and we're going down the street. This chick peels out, comes up behind us. She's screaming out I shouldn't even say she. I don't know what her gender is. I don't gender people. But and it's screaming out the fucking window.
Yeah.
And followed us for 3 blocks. Then we make a left at a light, go up 3 blocks, and we're heading into the 7-Eleven where we're supposed to go.
Yeah.
As soon as we pull in the 7-Eleven, I'm looking in the rear view, and this person's still following us. She rips it into the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck that. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like,
yeah.
So I got out. My girl's screaming at me, like, Mike. I'm like, fuck that. So I walk up to the car. Just standing there, like, I'm like, I just was saying, like, what's your fucking deal? Like, you don't understand how to drive, blah, 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 blah.
Are you upset at this point, or are you still?
Oh yeah. No, I'm not angry. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what the fuck? Why are you honking at us? What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, you followed us all the way here. What are you, fucking psycho? Like,
yeah.
They go, oh, you know, man, you can't make a right on a one way. I'm like, no, you definitely can. I'm like, you're fucking stupid. So I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, it spiraled and got to the point where I basically got in her face and was like, what the fuck are you going to do about it anyway? Like, you came here with a plan. You drove 6 blocks to chase us.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what was the plan? If the plan was whatever, let's see what you got, right? So we're arguing back and forth. All these people are now around us, like, stop. And it's like, my girlfriend's like on the horn.
What is this girl looking like? Are you fighting like a bikini chick, or like what is?
No. This is like, I try to think of what I could. It was like imagine like a wannabe tactical dork with like Oakleys on and khaki pants and just fucking. But the female looking for a problem, but doesn't know they don't want one.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm standing there close and just like egging her on a little bit because I was like, what are we doing? Why are we even arguing about this? So she puts her hand on my chest and taps me. So I'm like, listen. I'm like, there's no issue right now. You touch me again, there's gonna be a fucking problem because I'm not touching you. Blah blah blah. Her little girlfriend gets in the way and pushing her back, and she kind of wipes her finger on my chest. So I took that finger and I grabbed that arm and threw her into the. And then it was like I told you, like I fucking told you that was gonna happen, right? So calm the fuck down. She whirls around like she's gonna do something, so I just grabbed her by the back of the arm and turned her around, spun her, right?
Yeah.
So I'm controlling her arm, so she looks like a fucking like fish out of water. She's like trying to like fight back with me, and I'm just like yelling like loud, like because I know I'm being filmed. I'm like, calm down, calm down. So she's like, she's like squirming, and then finally I let her go, and like all these people grab her, and I'm just like, oh, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, what am I doing? It was the most ridiculous thing. This black woman came out of nowhere and she looks at me. She's go, "What the fuck is she thinking? You're gonna kill her if you hit her." Like, that wasn't the plan, I swear.
What's your girlfriend doing at this time? She's freaking out.
She said she was honking the horn and screaming my name, but I didn't hear that. So she was very concerned that I was going to do something that I wouldn't be able to take back. So, but I was just like.
You're telling the story very like in a jovial way, but I imagine it wasn't like that at all.
No, it was pretty fun. At the time.
Have you ever listen? I don't mean to say this in the wrong way. Have you ever had to hit it? Have you ever had to hit a girl?
No, and I wouldn't have hit. It wasn't a matter of like, oh, I'm gonna fuck it. It was just like, what are you doing? Like, in this instance,
you're gonna subdue her in some way.
Yeah, like what are you doing? I would have done the same.
She was hitting him first. I mean, he just took her hands off.
No, I'm not saying what he did was wrong. I'm saying like in your years of bodyguarding or security, have you ever had to hit a chick or like mostly just
had to restrain a bunch of them? But it's just like, I mean, it's not like I'm taking a shot at you. Like, It's pretty ridiculous, right? That's why I'm like, as soon as I was aware of the cameras, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, there we go. This is going to be bad. Like, this makes TikTok. It's going to be like crazy tattooed guy grabs girl.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, just calm down, lady.
What'd you go to Rhode Island for anyway?
Just surprised my first like bodybuilding coach to surprise him for his birthday. I hadn't seen him in probably a decade, so
I saw some photos. You were with Ed Cohen as well, right?
Yeah, Ed was there.
Are you friends with him already, or is he just friends with your buddy?
He's friends with my group of people that I know down there, and we've talked here and there online, but he's very close with them. So that was the first time I ever got to meet him. He's awesome, man. He's an awesome guy.
This is your first bodybuilding coach?
Yeah, Joe. We had no idea. It was just some sushi spot, and I pulled up on him.
Oh, he didn't know you were coming.
No, that's why he's like, "What the fuck?" Tells everyone they're cocksuckers. Yeah,
that's awesome.
My girl's in the back there with the short hair.
That's why I stopped it. I was like, I know.
Well, fuck, it's on the Instagram. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's so nice." Like, is that a cone?
Yeah.
Everyone in the video.
What else did you do while you were there? Just hang out and catch up?
Yeah, I just saw some. I went to college there too, so I just saw some college friends and just hung out. And Rhode Island's a pretty cool place. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but it's like right on the ocean and really nice. So it's been a while since I've been back. So
what are the people like there?
Cool.
Is it like New York?
No, it's so far from New York. Like
Rhode Island's right. Rhode Island's like, forgive me if my geography's off, but Rhode Island's connected to New York, right?
No. Rhode Island's right below Massachusetts and beside Connecticut.
Jesus Christ.
And then Connecticut's attached to New York. But it's literally like, it's this big, the state. Yeah.
Here, I just
you can drive across it in like 45 minutes.
Right? We might as well all learn something together.
Yeah.
All right. So,
geography lessons.
This is where the fuck
Massachusetts is above it and beside it, and then Connecticut's like the other side.
Where is Rhode Island? Where am I looking here? There's
Boston. We're here, Providence. Where Providence is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have the states there, but it's.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
See how tiny it is?
Yeah. All right. So it's just this red outline here?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Boston, Connecticut, New York's way the fuck over here. Okay. I knew it was somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Not that far off. I'm one state over.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to the Arnold. So, Ian, why didn't anybody do the show?
I don't know. What do you think?
Just timing?
I think timing. I mean, I think 99% of the reason of certain shows is like, people will be like, New York Pro is the best show. But it's like, really? It's not that often. It's just whenever the time is compared to other shows and time of the last season. It's just time of shows is all that bodybuilders pick them. Like I bet when Hunter goes to the beginning of the season, he picks Tampa and Texas. Obviously, there's a reason for picking Texas, but like he's picking those based on a schedule that, okay, I got 16 weeks of off season, some time to come off, some time to do this. Like we're planning it by numbers, right?
Okay, but time out. Let me just give you this thought. So if you're at the top, when you're, you or Hunter or somebody who is an elite pro, and you can win any show, then you're choosing by timing. But if you're a second tier pro,
but that's what the show was, all second tier pros.
I don't know. I mean, not really.
Who
is in it?
Who's in the top five? The second tier. Like he won a show.
But that's it. But that's the only one. So this is the top five here. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, Vitor Boff qualified for the Olympia last year too. He was in the show. He was fifth.
Yeah, Amir is a good pro as well.
Amir's a younger guy. He's good. This guy's new, right?
This guy is good too.
He just turned pro that day before or something, didn't he?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of I'm assuming his name is just Jose.
Oh no, this guy. Okay, this isn't it. But yeah, I saw a lot of him before.
Joseph. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's probably Joseph. But yeah, he this picture was going around.
Yeah, that picture, yeah. It's a crazy picture.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
The only thing is when I look at his whole physique,
he's a little long still.
It's a little bit more upper body than
yeah, he looks like he's a taller guy. It's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, I just feel like you can see here hamstrings need to kind of.
But that upper body looks great. I mean, there's some good density for shoulders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like from here up, from here up, he looks like a top 10, like a top 10.
Are fucking wild.
I would say he's like a top 10 athlete from the waist up.
Look at those delts.
Yeah, it's the waist down.
Yeah, he needs to grow the legs, but that's why I'm assuming he might be a little taller. You know, good calves though. Look at those calves.
Yeah, I think it's mostly, honestly, his quads even look pretty good. I think it's mostly his hamstrings and adductors.
And adductors, yeah. I mean, he needs a little more sweep on the quad, you can see, but the
like here, you can see the quads are pretty good.
Yeah, they look good. I mean, he doesn't look as tall there, but he's a fucking big dude. I wonder what this guy weighs.
It's like it's more of the front to back thickness, because the width this way is not bad.
Yeah, that looks good there. It's adductor, you can see. Yeah, hamstring and adductor inner, like.
Yeah, the depth of the hamstring is not.
Yeah,
it's not. See, when he puts it out, he kind of like starts to disappear a bit.
Yeah.
But the back, look at his back though.
Yeah, that's a great back, top to bottom, good delts, conditioning's good. He was in great shape too,
So he was fourth. Let me go back to this page real quick so we can look at the top 4, 5. Here we go. Okay. That's Baruz crying. Oh, here they go. Okay. Vitor, Amir. This guy I had never seen before is
Wellington, whatever. Yeah.
Is Wellington his first name?
I think so.
Yeah, Wellington. I thought he
had just turned pro the day before, I think, right?
I mean, that's incredible for the day before. See, it's weird. You know what's really strange? When I saw this shot, I was like, oh, fuck. I'm like, Baruz is going to have some competition. But then when I saw them next to each other.
He's a lot smaller, right?
It was more like when he poses, it's weird. He has like a good X frame. But when he's standing relaxed, it's more rectangular. I'll show you what I mean.
Maybe he didn't turn pro just before. I thought he did.
I'm not sure when these guys are turning pro. Let me see if I can find a side-by-side here with Baruz and Wellington. Here. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
When you stand them next to each other, you start to see the.
Yeah, I mean, the arms needs more tricep and like a little more depth in the chest. Like.
Yeah, it was a clear victory.
And he's got a very long upper body compared to his legs.
Yeah, for him to correct this whole thing, he needs to get these lats to drop.
Yeah, and needs definitely some more tricep on there.
Yeah. But Baruz's shape is fucking incredible.
He's got great shape, yeah.
Mike, what'd you think? Anything? Did you take a look at any of the pictures?
No, this is the first thing I'm seeing.
What do you think?
Who is the go up? Where's this kid I just saw?
Oh.
It looks like it was quite a poorly lit show, right?
Yeah.
Like this, I imagine these guys looked a lot better than this.
I feel like Amir didn't improve as much as I thought he would in the time he took off.
Yeah, especially for a younger guy.
Yeah. I feel like he should stop competing until he puts on like some serious mass because he has good structure.
Yeah. And he can get in condition, so it's...
Yeah.
Because, like, see, his conditioning is good.
Yeah, he's just another guy. Like, he's a little bit thin through the limbs. Like, he needs to get more of that density.
Open up. There you go. Yeah, good potential young guy, though.
Yeah, I always find it strange when shows come up. I mean, I guess I don't know. For me, it was traveling to South America. It was never something I wanted to do, but.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably a big thing as well. Guys are going to look at shows like timeline and proximity, you know?
Yeah. Paulie, what's up, man?
Whoa.
Hey, guys. The fuck? we had it on so we couldn't see everyone there because we were looking at something, and then you were all of a sudden there when we closed it.
Boo. We said we were missing. Mike said we were missing the glue of the show.
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
I tried to set Paul's balls on fire today. It didn't work.
Yeah, I got my ass on fire instead. My balls are too small. They don't reach a seat anymore.
What? Literally, like you put a lighter to his balls?
No, I put fucking bunch of icy heat on the chair that I was sitting on before I sat on it.
I got him a chair. He's been sitting on this really shitty like classroom chair in the gym.
Shitty classroom.
I have like a nice office chair, and he sits in like this really crappy like lunchroom chair.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's always complaining about it. So I got him an office chair. But he's always farting in my chair and shit. So I fucking I put some of that the Elite FTS has this like it's like icy hot, but it's way stronger.
Like a Tiger Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it all over his chair and then I kind of wiped it so it didn't look like you could see it. So he came in and sat down here. Well, you know what?
Did the room not just smell so?
So now you ruined his
smelt
new
it.
chair.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. It wasn't a new chair anyway. He grabbed it from the warehouse. It was some old chair.
Totally outing him now.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Went out and bought him this beautiful chair.
I didn't say I bought him a chair.
What I was surprised at is that the icy heat, whatever, that it penetrated my pants.
Oh, I knew it would penetrate your pants.
It did.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I knew it would once it heated up. Here, let's go back. Where's the sound? How come
Top there.
Yeah. Paul's been sitting in these nasty ass chairs for the last few months, so I got him this really nice office chair to sit in. But just as a little surprise for farting in my chair so many times, I put some of this Arctic Sports Bomb that you can get on Elite FTS on the chair here. So when he sits down, it'll soak into his pants. And hopefully, if all goes well, his nuts will be on fire halfway through the workout. So we'll see if this works. I'll keep you guys posted. No, I took the day off. What do you think of your new chair, Paul?
I love my new chair, Fouad.
You like it?
Yeah. I haven't tested it out yet, though.
Test it out. Tell me what you think. What do you think?
Let me see how it spits.
Dog goes right
I
for your
think there's
nuts.
a lock.
He always does every time.
Rock a little
He
bit.
smells of testosterone.
Over here.
Yep, that's Paul.
I like the armrests, and are they adjustable?
Yeah, you could. Yep, there you go. Yeah,
I do have a shoulder issue. So
there you go. So you're good. So you're good now.
yeah, I'm good. Thank you for
Now we can both be kings.
Yeah, now I no longer feel like an inferior to you. We can get rid of these are for other guests now.
Those are other people
Those
can
get
feel.
passed down now.
All right, I told you I'd give you guys an update. He went to the washroom. He's been sitting in his fucking chair for 20 minutes, half an hour, and he hasn't fucking said anything. I don't know if this one's gonna work. It's the thought that counts. It could have been good. How you feel, Paul?
Feel good, what?
Is your bum on fire?
No, why would it be? How would you ask me that? Why?
Because I tried to fuck with you and it didn't work.
What do you mean?
I put icy hot on your
I
chair.
thought there was something. I thought my ass was sweating.
So it did work?
Where's my pants? Right through my pants?
Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on. I was like, fuck, I feel like I got ass sweat.
The fucking I thought something was going on. Like, how come you wouldn't say anything?
I just thought I had ass sweat. I thought I was, so that's why I went to the bathroom. I was like, my ass is sweat. Maybe I got a shit. So I went to the bathroom and I didn't have to shit.
My ass always sweats when I go to shit.
Me too.
I get a real sweaty ass. when I go to
Profusely
do something.
sweating.
I thought it was a sign.
Wait, your ass sweats when you have to shit?
Yeah.
My ass will sweat if I hold a shit.
Well, is that kind of the same?
No,
It's
no.
having the shit, you know?
No. Like if I have to shit and I'm holding it for a long time, I might get some ass sweat. But it just doesn't sweat just because I have to shit.
Really? I don't know. Mine does. It's like prep. I don't know. It's like preparation or something. It's like it's telling me something.
The sweat's
Usually.
lubricating his butthole.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
By the way, this show has completely ruined shitting for me, by the way. Like
Yeah.
every time I shit now, I have to close the lid.
I don't do that.
Oh, because of the plumes.
All I
flush
can
the plume,
picture
yeah.
now is that plume, the picture of the plume. I'm like, every time I'm like, it's flushing right in my face.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah,
about
I do
how
it every
long you
time now
went in your
too.
life without doing that.
Yep.
Think how much
A couple times.
You've been exposed to plumes your whole life till you found out about that, and you're fine.
It's probably built strong immunity.
Yeah, but Mike,
Yeah.
think about it. When you flush the toilet, you probably lean over and like look and flush.
No.
No, but I've been a few times recently where I reach down to pull my pants up as I flush.
Oh
And
no!
I'm like, wait, whoa, I gotta back the fuck up here. I start thinking about the plumes. I start thinking about you guys. I'm like, I get the plumes.
That's good. That's good. You should. We all should be thinking about it.
I'm
Mike,
mindful. I'm definitely
What do you do
mindful.
if you go to
Yeah.
a public toilet? Do you just like flush and run out of the stall, or you just leave it?
Turn my-
leave it
turn
floating
Yeah,
there?
because
I turned
they
my
don't have
back
the
like
covers.
Turn my back
Honestly,
like-
Turn my back.
I haven't shit in a public place in as long as I can remember.
I just shit in a public place 2 days ago.
Oh, you guys, I work at a place, man. There's no good place to shit where I work. There's one place that I choose to shit at, and it's open to any other guy to come use it. Every time a guy has to come take a piss right next to me when I'm shitting. I fucking hate it. I can't stand it.
Do you have a disabled bathroom?
Well, there's a disabled stall, but not a disabled bathroom.
You're not supposed to
Like
use that.
when there's a disabled bathroom that's like its own with its own closed door, you know?
I wish. No, it's an old building, so no, I hate it. And and I work a 10-hour shift, so I'm taking 2-3 shits a shift.
Two or three shits.
Well,
I
drink my fiber shake before bed, Fouad. So when I first get there after I have eggs, there's one right there.
Then a lunch shit and then one at the end.
Exactly before I leave.
Why don't you drink your fiber shake a little bit earlier so you shit in the morning when you wake up instead of when you get to work?
No, I got a system. This is the way it works for me.
You take it before
my
bed?
last
But your
meal.
system's
Before my
flawed.
last meal.
Don't try to fuck with the system to it.
Yeah, but
No, it works good, Fouad. It's working. I'm really regular. It's good.
Yeah, but you have to shit at work. What I'm saying is, if you just took it a couple hours earlier, you'd wake up and have to shit, and that way you wouldn't have to shit at work.
You mean like take it before bed?
No, I'm saying take your
Yeah, why
fiber
do you
shake
think about that?
a couple hours earlier than you do now. That way you'll shit when you wake up. Why is this so confusing?
Yeah, I could. You're right. I could
He's
for
not
sure.
happy. He's
I
not
don't
happy
know.
with that, though.
I'm just happy with the way things are going right now. I don't know if I want to mess with it.
He doesn't want to jinx a good thing here. You know?
Right? Yeah, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
2 or 3 shits in a 10-hour shift?
2 at least.
No, 2. I guess that's not that
That's
bad.
easy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Light
easy.
work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Dropping
Mike.
bombs at Pure all day.
Okay. Well, last. I don't want to talk about shit the whole time, but question,
Ah,
Mike, you don't look like when you're flushing. You don't look. You just like flush and walk away.
What are you
Ian?
looking
drop the bomb and get out of there.
You don't
You're
look.
making sure- What are you looking? What are you watching for?
Well, if there's any markings left.
Sometimes
on
if I
the
know it's a really impressive shit,
Oh,
I'll get up and look before I even
Yeah.
wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check my work
For
sometimes.
sure. Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
man, that felt like a
I've
lot came out.
I've
And I'll
never
go,
ever
I have.
done that.
You have so.
No, I
Really?
haven't.
Every
I've
guy
never-
has.
No, wait. I've never stood up and looked and then sat back down and wiped.
After you know you just dropped a bomb, you don't
If
look.
I drop a bomb, I'm still gonna wipe and then look. If it's big
Yeah.
enough, I'm gonna see it anyway.
I've been taking the best dumps of my life over the past few years because I take a certain supplement by a certain supplement company that's unbelievable.
Is it a fiber
Like,
supplement?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. It's
Is it
like you're
useful?
shitting out a plastic bag. It's just shrink wrapped. It's just shrink wrapped coming out of there. That's
I
coming out
think
hot too.
I think it's because you're eating a lot of pizza.
No.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
I haven't had pizza in a while though.
Yeah, but you've been
Or,
eating,
yeah,
you've been eating shitty food.
No, last few days have been good.
Yeah, but have your shits gotten better or worse?
They're always good because of the supplement.
Doesn't matter what you eat.
I'm
Doesn't
intrigued.
matter.
Tell me
I'll
the
tell you.
supplement.
I'll tell you offline.
Okay, I'd like to know.
Paul,
You'll love it.
anything
It's
with
fucking unbelievable.
anything with fiber, Paul's in.
Yeah, I'm a big
It's
fan
it.
of fiber.
It's the only good thing this person's ever made.
I already know.
I know
what
what
it is too. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
Anyway.
Paul's definitely going to be one of those guys when he's like 65 that's eating like all brand buds every
Oh
morning.
yeah.
Yeah, it
got-
prunes.
He's got prunes and shit. Yeah.
Prunes, yeah.
Old Italian guy, coffee and some prunes.
Oh, the flattest stomach around.
Okay, wait a minute. So we got to go back. So forgot where the fuck
Use
I
your
was.
words.
Doesn't want to
Uh,
don't take it back to shit, man. Let's
Yeah.
move on.
You get up to look, and then sit back down and flush, and then wipe.
Only if I know it's like I'm like that was fucking impressive.
See, but I stand
Yeah.
up. I
Okay.
stand
I've
up
taken
and watch
pictures. I've
it.
taken pictures of my dumps and sent them to people before.
oh, I
too.
thought you were before.
What's that?
I'm like, look at the size of this thing.
Yeah, I got mad at you for that.
Especially
I'm like,
Yeah, you
if
did.
it breaches the water. If it's
Yeah.
a little breach, like a
Yeah.
little whale tail coming out.
all right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I stand to wipe, so it makes sense for me to look at it. You know?
Me too.
I'll stand up. I'll look. I could wipe, and then
Yeah.
but when you're flushing, none of you look to make sure like it's all gone.
sometimes,
it's all
but
gone.
only if I know it's like if it's
Like
real.
I mean, if you take a dump and it leaves any markings, I like to clean up after myself.
You mean the bowl? Like if I
Yeah.
leave some? Oh yeah, I clean up the bowl after. Well,
That's why I'm
Yeah.
looking. So now instead of just looking, I have to close the lid, flush, and then lift the lid and check before I
Yeah.
leave.
I'd want to see the plume that comes off of wiping the bowl with the brush because I
Oh.
feel like you're stirring up a lot of shit in there.
No, because
Yeah.
you've already flushed. It's just water.
Yeah, but still, there's germs in
yeah, I think you're kicking up some. It's like kicking up dirt.
there.
Now
you
I got a
think
question.
you think you've been safe this whole time? You're not, man.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever, if you leave a little bit of those remnants, then the next time you go piss, you try and clean them off with your
Oh yeah,
hand?
yeah. It's like target practice. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
trying to. It's like that
Obviously.
game you play at the carnival. We have
Just
to
try
know
and
the
create
squirt
as much PSI as possible and blast off there. You know?
Give it a little,
Hey, good,
give it a
now
little
don't-
grunt of the circus.
No, gotta clean it. Good.
Yeah.
You know, it's incredible. So as fucked up as I thought I was, the more I do this podcast, the more I'm like, we're all equally fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do it. We all do the same.
I think everybody thinks that their level of fucked upness is the worst until they start talking to everybody else. And they're like, wait a minute, we're all
We're
the
all the
same.
fucking same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that too, and it bothers me because sometimes I can't get that last speck off,
Yeah.
and I'm hammering it with my
I
fucking.
hate
It's like
that. I fucking hate that.
like it's bang on, like and it's nothing's happening.
Sometimes you got to change the angle. Like you got to take a step to the left.
Take a step
Take
over.
a step to the left, so it's like coming at it from a bit of a.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a
Also-
power washer. You got to come from underneath. Like,
Yeah, sometimes if you're coming too direct, it's not. You got to get like from an angle and kind of like chip it off. You know.
Also, my prostate's bigger now, so my flow is not as like.
Yeah,
damaging.
right. Yeah.
Did you imagine you
Or
piss as
pressure.
strong as like a pressure washer? That'd be fucking unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. Clean it
Who was I?
all around.
I think I was taking a piss next to Ben. We were in Texas. I think he was in the stall over, and he's pissing, and it just sounds like a fucking waterfall. It's like,
Like a hose.
yeah. And I'm pissing, and
10
it's like
seconds to get the stream started.
mine's like you just barely turn the tap on. It's like, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? I'm like, he's like, I'm healthy. I'm like, I can tell. I'm like, fuck, man. Anyway, so we were talking about the Arnold South America. Before we go away from that, Paul, out of curiosity, why don't you think more bodybuilders did that show? Just want to know what you think.
It's it's kind of early for one thing. South is traveling right now. Maybe I don't think people are traveling as much still yet.
As Ian was saying, timing of the year. It's the timing in the year.
Yeah, I don't think the timing is great. Things get started like even in the amateur shows. Amateur shows are always small for us early in April.
Hey, I got a
If
question.
If they move that show to like mid-June, it would be completely different.
I got a question for you guys because now the Arnold Australia is no longer around.
Yeah, they're not bringing that back, eh?
I don't think so. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, out of curiosity, what would happen if they moved the Arnold South America to 2 weeks after the Arnold Columbus, like they used to?
Yeah, you could.
Then you'd actually get some competitor. Why wouldn't you do that? Now that the Arnold Australia is not there, it's a perfect timing to do it.
If the purse is good, if it's a good purse there and you put it close proximity time wise, you could definitely draw some big names out. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you could offer a good purse because if it was 2 weeks after the Columbus, then for sure the guys would just be like, "Well, fuck, I'm going to go get the extra 50 grand or whatever it is."
Yeah.
What was the prize money for this one? Was it 50?
I don't
We
know.
weren't
We weren't sure what it was.
Weren't Arnold's always standard 50?
No, because I think the Arnold UK last year, the year before, was 40.
Oh, was it?
Sergio was going to do the show. He
Yeah.
did. Do we know what he's going to do instead, or has he not said?
I'm gonna guess. I haven't. Nobody take this as
California?
possible. Yeah. No, I was gonna guess
New York.
Chicago
Oh, Chicago.
because he's
That's
from
still quite a
Chicago.
while though.
Oh, he's from Chicago, yeah.
But he's from Chicago, so I thought. But then again, he could. You're right. He's in shape. He could do New York. He could do Cali.
Yeah, last thing I saw,
Toronto.
he said he posted that he's just going to stay in shape and then pick a show whenever, time
Well,
is
I
right.
mean, he's close enough now to do New York, Cali, Toronto, or if he wants to wait for Chicago. I mean, all those are coming up.
Yeah.
Chicago's a little bit longer, but
Who's doing Chicago?
Justin and Blessing
Yeah.
Oh, right. And
are the only two that I know.
Oh.
Anybody else that you know?
That's all I know of. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin's gonna have his hands full with Blessing, but it just depends. I mean, Justin will come in shape. I'm almost certain of that. But if the Blessing from New York shows up with the added size, then Justin might have a tough time.
I think Justin's more balanced and can probably get in consistently better condition, but Blessing at this point is still a little bigger.
Yeah.
But if Blessing can get the conditioning tight, it'll be a good show. I'm excited to see it. It'll be a good one for Justin to get his feet wet for sure.
what about Carlos? Wasn't Carlos Thomas talking about it?
Carlos is doing New York.
He's doing New York, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think New York would have been a better show for Justin.
I think it was just a little early, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was the right timing, but I think it would have been a better show only because it's a whole bunch of new guys.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
agree
like
with that. It's a lot of new guys doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like Carlos and that beef stew
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's
And
good.
That's the guy. That's the guy's picture I was trying to talk about on that when you're on that site. The bodybuilding without borders. Like I was telling you, who's that kid? That's the kid I was talking about. That
The kid with the guy with the afro.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the sick abs and thighs picture that was up there.
Holy fuck.
We were
what's his name? The Ross Flanagan's doing New York as well. Newer guy.
dude, Ross looks really good.
That's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Holy fuck. I've been so impressed. I want to show where's that beef stew picture?
The abs and thighs is a fucking sick picture. I almost thought it was Photoshopped. Like I thought his waistline was Photoshopped to look so crazy.
So this is beef stew.
Mhm.
I remember seeing him in Tampa last year when we were there.
Looked good
in
in
person.
Tampa.
Yeah, he did look good.
I think it was a last minute decision for him, so he wasn't in his best condition, but I think he
Yeah.
still did really well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
his
jeez.
physique, he's like, fuck, look at this. He's like, I don't know,
He's a
he's
dense-
270. What's he, 270, 260?
I'm not sure.
Look at the fucking legs.
I know he's crazy,
Look
Rob.
at this sweep. It starts like here.
Yeah, he poses them well too, like bows them out a bit, so it looks good.
Look at
this
that.
shot.
Look at that right there. Right there. It starts sweeping out.
Yeah.
That's like Sean Roden shit, man.
Yeah, it looks good.
Needs a little more adductor just to close that gap a little bit.
But
But,
no, overall, it looks good.
Overall, he's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back is thick.
Hmm.
This was impressive as fuck. Samson in his has not started his off season yet. And it looks like this.
Oh, jeez.
What the fuck?
Samson. Jeez.
This is
What's he weighing now?
this is off. He's like 315 here.
Where is he?
Huh?
Where is that?
That's in Korea.
Or something.
Yeah, he's in
Oh, yeah, he was in Korea. Yeah.
he's in South Korea.
So
I gotta tell you, man, I gotta tell you, Samson would make a fucking great Mr. Olympia. He's been
Yeah.
over halfway
Yeah.
around the fucking world already since winning the Arnold.
Yeah. And he loves it.
Like I know people say like, oh, Hottie doesn't go anywhere, and I think I give Hottie a pass because probably he doesn't speak any other languages, so maybe it's harder for him to go get around. I don't know, maybe if that's an excuse or not, but I feel like it is. But fuck, man, Samson's just like touring the world right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He enjoys it too, I think.
he likes meeting people. He likes he would be a good ambassador. Like if it panned out for him and he won, I think he'd be a very good Mr. Olympia.
For sure.
I agree.
Okay.
that dude, what's that dude's name we were just talking about? Beef stew.
Beef stew, yeah.
Stuart
It
Miller.
reminds me of this character from Lord of the Rings, and I found it, but I don't know what the guy's name is.
Let me see.
Why?
Oh.
Oh wait, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it.
I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so I don't even know how that came in my brain, but it's fucking awesome.
Who were you guys saying? You said somebody else was going to do that show before I clicked on Samson. Isn't Nate doing that too? Yeah,
Nate's
he is.
doing it, yeah. And then who did I say? I said the guy that with the cereal company.
Oh, Ross. That's who I wanted to
Ross.
show. You're right. That's I gotta show this because I am like fucking blown away by Ross's physique. Look at this
Super
shit.
nice shape. Yeah.
Look at this shit, Paul. Look at
Whoa.
this. Look at this
Yeah.
fucking legs. And this is the camera's pointing downwards. This is not even
Yeah.
it's not even a good angle, and his legs look like this. It's this tiny little waist, flaring lats, good arms, like
Big arms.
chest is thick.
Bit thick
And
lower back, eh?
And then from the back, look at this. The shit sinks into like this thicker ass erectors.
Yeah.
Good
The
ham-
records are crazy.
Yeah.
Good-
He's a
good
big
hand.
guy, isn't he?
Well, now he is.
50.
Well, I mean, like height wise. Like,
Look at this is his debut. 238.
252.
252?
Yeah, he's put on like 20 fucking pounds almost.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's made some big improvements.
So he'll be what, like low 240s, 245 on stage?
I would say 245. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just impressive, man. His shape is fucking really, really nice.
Yeah.
It's mostly like, I don't want to say mostly, but his legs are just, the roundness is awesome.
Yeah. I think he's doing Toronto as well.
Especially because it goes into like this little fucking waist.
Yeah. Yeah. The quads are crazy.
Yeah.
Super round.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
I like to
He's
see
made a
that.
lot of improvements.
Wait, I want to show this real quick. I think this was one of the first ones I saw this year. Look at this.
That's
Look at
good.
this
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, let's see.
That's
This is
thick.
this is more like dead on. Now you can see like the thickness of his
Yeah.
legs and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just think if his back matches his legs, he's
Yeah.
His back's
Yeah,
good.
sorry.
I don't know if his back has the width, but it's
that's what I'm
definitely-
saying. Yeah.
thick enough for sure.
There's got muscularity there. It just needs a little more width for it. Yeah, especially with how wide his quads are. He looks awesome. Yeah.
So Ian, what are you? How many weeks out now?
Because it was 6 this coming Sunday.
Fuck, it's coming up. How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah.
Nothing.
This is usual, you know.
Nothing to report. Just same as every day.
I mean, I've done so many of these fucking preps now, man. They all feel kind of the same, you know.
Come on,
You have ones that feel a little harder, ones that feel a little easier.
Give me some struggle, Ian. Come on, tell me you're fucking hurt.
I'm excited though.
It's mentally it wasn't an easy prep, especially coming after the Olympia. Like I definitely had a lot of self-doubt, but I'm getting into the groove of it now, so I feel good. Yeah.
You feeling better about yourself?
I'm trying to, yeah.
How's the posing coming along?
Good. Every time I send Matt, we're sending all the shots every time. He'll tweak them here and there, so it's good. I'm more comfortable with all the shots than I have been in a long time. Yeah.
Is someone helping you with your posing?
Just Matt right now. Yeah.
Do you want me to come help you with your posing?
Yeah, come down.
I'll drive to Ottawa and help you with your posing.
I'll come there.
Okay, so everything's good. What are you weighing in at?
I'm like 275, 76 right now.
Fuck, dude, that's big. That's 6 weeks out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I competed like Vancouver. I was 263.4 last year. So, I mean, that's only 10 pounds off this.
How close are you to being there? Are you going to be bigger or same? Better?
It's hard to say because I started this prep lighter. Like I didn't get as heavy. So like, and then when you're coming from that, there's a lot of times where my weight's not changing, but I am.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know how much I have to come off. Like I might be 273.5 for the next like 3 or 4 weeks, but just from like the drugs and things changing, I'm looking different, more different, you know?
Yeah.
So like, it's not that I didn't have a lot of weight to lose this prep where it's not like a progressive weight drop. It was kind of like weight drop and then like look change and then weight drop and then look, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not as progressive like in my weight to say. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'll be somewhere in the 260s. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'll be under 260. I don't think I would be anymore at this point in my life, you know?
Is there any big names doing Toronto yet that you know of? No.
I know of a lot of guys doing it, but I mean, not anyone that's an Olympia guy yet. No.
Yeah. Okay. Paul, you're going to BC tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm judging. I got a show in BC this weekend, a pro show and an amateur show.
When you go to shows, do you meet and greet or you just judge and leave?
I do the weigh-ins and stuff like that.
Do you spend time meeting all the fans?
Yeah, if a fan comes up to take a picture.
He thinks you're like gonna get him.
It's not a trick.
No.
Well, since you've been doing the podcast more, when you go to like CPA shows and stuff, you get a lot more people talking to you about it.
Oh, way more. You know, it happens more in the US than it does in Canada.
Yeah. Well, it's just
like
bigger viewership.
Yeah. At the Olympia or the Arnold, yeah, it happens a lot. It's
well, that's what I meant. You're doing weigh-ins, I know, but do you spend time after just meeting people?
Yeah, I always, if someone wants to take a picture or someone wants to talk, I always take the time. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, there's quite a few. It's tumbling for sure.
All right.
I'm excited for the Toronto show though, Ian, because it's my first time judging you as a pro, and I think it's going to be a great show.
But you didn't judge Vancouver last year?
No.
Oh, but you were there.
No, I wasn't there.
I thought you were in Vancouver.
No, I wasn't. But like, it's going to be a great crowd there, I think. And I think, you're the hometown favorite, obviously. So, and I love when crowds get into the shows, and I think this crowd's going to be pretty into it.
It would be awesome if you had like Antoine come and do the show, you know?
Yeah, he's not,
You had like Antoine or Regan or like one of the other like big Canadian names. This would be a fucking fun show. You know?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Quentin was gonna do it. That's what I thought his plan was. Well,
they want to take him and Matt want to take more time and like really make sure they solidify, like hold that mass for a while before they bring it down, so he holds on to it. You know?
Yeah, he's so young. I get it. They got a long-term goal in mind, but that would have been cool too. You and Quentin. Yeah,
that would have been such different physiques, so it would be interesting.
Yeah.
So you're judging Ian?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to judge him fairly?
Yeah. Of course. I judge you fairly. I judge you before.
Oh, you tried to make me lose.
Well, I wanted you to earn it. That's all.
You were the only judge on the panel that had me in second.
I mean, that's as unbiased as it gets right there.
Yeah.
He's not helping his buddy out. He's being like, this is fucking,
I still bust Fouad's balls about that. Tell him again, if it wasn't for me, you'd still be stuck in level 1. Give him a pass through there.
You try to hold me back.
You judged me at provincials, OPA provincials.
Yeah, that was the only time.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever judged you.
2014, yeah. It's like 10 years ago.
And I missed the prejudge for your class because I had to take a piss so bad I couldn't hold it anymore.
Yeah,
Are you gonna go to Paul for feedback after the show?
of course. Yeah.
Not that Iain needs my feedback. Iain's an Olympian.
I wanna be
He
there.
doesn't-
We can discuss
he
my
doesn't-
feedback. We can discuss my feedback here on the show.
Yeah,
I want to
okay,
be there.
sure.
I want to be there for that conversation.
Oh God, yeah, no, I don't think Iain needs my feedback. You can give me my feedback, Iain. I'm not judging.
You're a pro judge, dude. What are you talking about? Of course he needs your fucking feedback.
Well, Iain's,
Come on, give yourself some credit.
well,
Yeah.
thank you, but Iain's, the top Olympian. I don't think he needs to hear what I need to say, what I have to
I
say.
always want to hear it. I mean, look, this is no insult to judging, but I think most guys, unless there's really just something like that they can't see in their placings, I think most of us are pretty aware with what our faults and what our strengths are. Like if I went and asked for feedback and they said, oh, your tricep or something this, or your calves, or they said, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, I didn't, like, obviously
Right.
I know where my faults lie. We all,
Right.
so,
At Iain's
but
level.
I do try and get feedback if it's like, if it's like, hey, I changed this or I did this, or with opposing, or like if my conditioning, I came in fuller or flatter, like, did you like it better when I was harder, a little fuller, like things like that. But I generally know what my
Well,
my
at your
faults
level, like, other than Steve and Tyler and maybe a couple others, nobody, you don't need to hear from anybody else,
Yeah, I always like to hear it though. It's always interesting to hear what people's opinions and perspectives are.
Mike, did you ever ask any judges for feedback?
No, I knew how bad I sucked.
I was in the same camp. Well, not the same camp, but I was in the same mindset that Iain is. Like I never through my entire career, I don't remember really asking any judges for feedback, but not because I thought I was great. It's because I kind of wherever I placed, I kind of already knew why I placed there.
Yeah.
I never asked for feedback.
I have for sure in a few shows.
Yeah. I never asked either. I knew what I needed to work. I was too small. Or
Yeah, I was like, I always knew. I'm like, okay, well, what am I gonna? What would I would have asked? The only ones like, I don't know. I just never, like, if it was like, let's say Branch, right? I took second to Branch. It's because he was bigger than I was. It wasn't like a mystery. It wasn't a mystery. I didn't need to go talk to the judges. I was like, okay, I was in better condition than he was, but he's more muscular. That's why he won.
Right.
Same thing with Victor. Like I took second to Victor in Toronto. I was like, okay, well, I was in more condition, but he's way bigger.
Yeah, that's like if I'm peeled out of my mind and like at my all-time best, and Samson's beats me, it's like, well, I can just understand that he just is a better physique.
Right. Yeah.
That I could be better or I need to improve something. It's just he was better,
Yeah. At that level, I don't think you need feedback per se anymore,
But I don't know if that was a good thing.
I think for a class like bikini, I think feedback is everything.
Well, because the margins are so much smaller.
The margins are so small and the look is so fine that I think you really need to know exactly what they're looking for. And I think that's why some coaches do a lot better than others with bikini girls, is because they really understand the criteria. I think coaching is coaching, and everyone can get someone into that kind of shape. Not everyone, but I don't think it's as difficult to get a bikini girl in shape, but to understand the exact fine line of like, not too hard, not too soft, fullness here, but not fullness here. Like, I think to understand that is much more of an art,
I agree.
Would you say the same thing for classic?
No.
Why?
Because I think classic, the criteria is the same as bodybuilding, really. I think it's be as big as you can within the weight cap and be as conditioned as you can. So where bikini, don't be too much, but don't be not enough,
I agree with the bikini part. I don't know if I agree with the classic part.
And what?
Because it's because I don't feel like classic is as simple as saying
I think the only thing you can get with
most shredded guy that can be an under the weight cap.
No, but I'm saying the only things you can say, but then you're asking for feedback on your just genetic shape.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so if you want feedback,
like
if you don't have the shape for classic, okay, sure.
No. Like take this example, right? Let's say I'm Urs.
Yeah.
And I got beat by Ramon at the Arnold.
Yeah.
It's not like Ramon is way bigger than Urs or way more shredded. So I would want to go talk to a judge and be like, is it my back? Is it my arms? Is it my?
But this exact same thing could be said for bodybuilding then, because like you could have two guys that aren't necessarily big difference in size, like say you have me and Justin Rodriguez and we're both peeled out of our minds, at that point it's just a difference of physiques, and obviously Urs knows where his strengths and weaknesses lie. Like Urs has really good parts, but like he still needs to improve his arms. Like there's some things that need to improve, where Ramon has fucking awesome arms, So, and Ramon's conditioning is very, very hard. Like there is some small differences there that I'm sure he's not like, oh my God, why did I lose? But in that case, if you were that confused, then definitely ask, get the feedback, and then get some clarity for yourself. But in the case of bikini, I think it's just the margin, like Paul said, the margin's so small, like, you know, because you can't under or overdo it. Where in bodybuilding, you can't necessarily be too peeled unless it's like taking away from your fullness per se. But like more conditioning is always better if it's not sacrificing something else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So where in bikini, it's like, you know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Paul, when you're judging amateur shows and you have like amateurs come for feedback and you've seen like classes and classes, is it hard for you to like? I mean, like I come up to you and I was in the second call out of super heavies. Like, what do I need to do? You know what I mean? Like, are you giving people like broad?
No.
So assessment,
because that happens all the time. And
so, I mean, I feel like amateurs are just searching for like this help from judges, but like it's like you have to understand that a pro show, it's very finite. Like I'm looking at these pros, I know who the fuck they are, what's going on. Whereas amateurs is like class after class.
Well, yeah, some amateur shows you'll have 200, 300, 400 competitors in it. So yeah, and you're asked, and it happens every show. Someone will come up right after the show, be like, "Hey, I was class E," you know.
You're like, what?
Well, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul,
so what I say is,
you just did North Americans, wasn't there like 1,000 competitors?
Yeah. So what I always do is I just say, listen, send me some pictures of this, send me some stage shots, and I'll give you full feedback. I can't go back on memory if you want an accurate feedback.
Well, and what they do now, especially with the CPA, right? They'll have it where you can like buy the video critique with the video package. So it's like you're like watching the video of the show, and they'll be like, okay, on this shot, this is what you should do, change this. You know,
I do a lot of those.
Yeah,
I do a lot of those.
Honestly, I think for any competitor who's new or even not seasoned, I would, they didn't have that when I was competing, I would pay for that to get
100%. If you're starting off, absolutely get the feedback.
Yeah. You know, I think it comes really important too. We get people who are not sure where they fit. Like maybe I'm classic, maybe I'm open, or females, maybe I'm bikini, maybe I'm figure, whatever. Like that's where I think it really comes into, you know, it has some value.
Yeah. So Paul, you're all packed for tomorrow?
No, I haven't started yet.
Yeah, but you're going to pack like I pack, right? You're just going to throw a bunch of shit in a bag?
Yeah, I got to bring a suit though, which I was going to get a suit made too, and I never got around to it. So I tried
to take you with me like 4 times.
I know.
Is this the Van Isle show? What is this show?
Yeah. It's a Sunday show. It's an amateur show and a pro show.
Toronto's Sunday as well, right? The pros?
Is it? Oh yeah, because amateurs are Saturday, right?
Speaking of amateurs, were you judging the 2014 provincials? I don't know if we talked about on the podcast before, when the Chris and Regan.
Yeah, we fucked that up. Yeah. that was like the first or second year that show got really, really big. We're getting like 500 competitors.
Wait! Don't skip over that because nobody knows what happened.
We'll tell.
How did you fuck that up? Tell me.
Yeah. So what happened was Regan and Chris were both in the show as heavyweight bodybuilders. They're both juniors and open bodybuilders. They're both, you know, phenomenal. So it was a huge show. It was like 500 and something athletes in that show. And we had a really, really tight timeline because the pro show was scheduled to start at whatever time too. So we literally had to like rip through classes. So it was so close, and you know, some of those scores were so close. We did the everything. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but all the judging's done in pre-judge. Finals is just for the overalls are decided. And once in a while you'll rejudge a class, but very rarely. But for the most part, everything's done in the morning. So, you know, we were going through the classes, and you know, I can't remember which order now.
Junior was first.
Did Regan win juniors and Chris won open?
Chris won juniors first.
Chris won juniors and then Regan won open.
I remember what happened now. Okay, go
on. Well, he didn't win, but he beat him. Hassan won. But Regan and Chris were like, they were 1 and 2 in the juniors, and then like 8 minutes later, they were like flip-flopped.
Second and third or whatever it was.
And then Regan beat Chris in the men's open heavyweight.
So they competed in the juniors, and then they competed again together, so people understand. They competed
10 minutes later.
They competed in the open class, or the men's class, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then Regan beat
Chris. They were like they were third and fourth or second and third. Yeah.
So how the fuck did you guys fuck that up?
So I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. I'm pretty sure I wrote mine up. Yeah, that's why like
how baked were you?
I don't get baked before shows food. I never have, never will. I take that very professionally.
And luckily for them, their careers have both worked out swimmingly. You know.
Yeah. Just that's why like you have a lot of crossovers in shows, and you got to keep track of your crossovers because you do not want to look stupid and do something like that. In that show, it was a lesson to all of us, and we never made that mistake again.
Yeah. Every time I've seen Rudy too, he has a good laugh about that one.
Yeah, we were
told him.
embarrassed about it, because we take pride in our, at least I do it. I know Rudy does. We take pride in our scores, and to fuck up like that made us look stupid, and we never made that mistake again.
I still won the overall, beat all of them, by the way.
You did, yeah, I know you did. I know, and you killed everybody too. It wasn't even close.
Beat C-Bum, no big deal.
I don't think people
Melissa win that show too?
Melissa won. Yeah, Melissa won.
Figure, right? Yeah.
I don't think people realize that judges actually care. I think a lot of people think judges don't give a shit. Like Paul has come to me and said, "Hey, what'd you think about that? Do you think I fucked that up?" Like,
I mean, people have to understand judges judge because they have a passion for bodybuilding. You don't need to judge. Like, you know.
Yeah. And you take pride in it. You don't want to look. You want to, whatever.
But I don't think there's a lot of judges. You don't like most judges aren't talking on podcasts or like now we see Steve doing some here and there now, which is nice. But you don't really see judges speaking openly about judging. Well, so people just think, well, they did it. They don't give a fuck. They've moved on. But I think they do care if they feel like they got something wrong.
Yeah. Plus, I think it's good for people to hear what judges are looking for. Maybe you don't hear it enough.
Okay, let's do some questions. You have to run for one position in government at any level. Which would you run for? Mayor.
Position?
Yeah,
I'd like to be like a mayor of a small town.
Yeah, I want to be a mayor. So
nice, easy, cushy job like that.
I can do whatever I want and actually see it happening instead of like.
I don't want to be part of big politics. There's no way.
Yeah. John, before John passed, rest in peace. John was talking about politics, and the people, like, he was coaching football, and the community loved him so much. They were talking to him, and he started to get interested in politics, and I think they were kind of talking to him about like if he wanted to run and stuff. And I asked John one day, I think I said, how far would you go? He's like, oh, I'd never do anything past like my city. Because he told me, he's like, it's too corrupt and you can't do what you want to do. You got to toe the party line and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I just want to I want to be part of the politics in my own community. And that was it as far as they want to go.
I agree. For sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
You're Secretary of Defense.
I can't
finger on the button, buddy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a worse job. Like if you had to pick a job you do not want to do, being the president or the prime minister is like number one almost for me.
Yeah. Or what's that job? Like what's Blinken's job right now? Like it looks like that guy's on
Secretary of State.
Yeah, those guys, they're on the road every day. They're in a different country.
Oh yeah. I could do that. That would be such a shit job, man.
I'm trying to think if I could be president.
Be terrible, man.
Oh, you just wouldn't do anything for it. You just let your people do everything.
I'd be like Trump. I'd be like, if it's not in a fucking photo, don't give it to me. And if it's not any, and if it's not good news, I don't want to hear about it.
Well, they said Trump would have McDonald's delivered to some of his meetings in that.
I'm saying if I was president, I would be president like Trump. Be like, bring me McDonald's. Tell me all the good news. Don't tell me any of the bad news.
Grab by the pussy.
And and if something has to be read, read it to me. I don't want to read it.
I'm not reading shit.
Are you still going to the Aries event? Yes, May 21st. Me, Ben, and Samson will be there. Nope. Let me skip through some of these. How many swipes of deodorant? I go. My wife looks at me like I'm fucked.
Oh, you sit there and do it a lot.
When I put deodorant on, my wife's like, "Is something wrong with you?" I'm like, I gotta make sure I cover everything. Like, I feel like because it's not just like one swipe, you got to go across too.
No,
we have big armpits. You got to get all that space.
Like the armpit is wide, right? So you got to one swipe for the whole.
Yeah, I got to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Like side to side.
Yeah, because you got to cover the whole area.
But I usually use spray deodorant, so it'll be like,
do you?
Spray deodorant never works for me. It sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't stay.
I get like a spray antiperspirant that works good.
Really, eh?
Huh.
I sweat, but I don't like my sweat. Like my armpit sweat's not like that stinky unless I haven't showered like a few days, which never happens,
But does the spray stain your clothes?
No.
Not any more than like regular deodorant would.
No.
I can't use for sure can't use the gel, like the clear gel.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put a shirt on first, then put it on, or put on, then put the shirt on?
Oh, I put my shirt on first.
Depends on the shirt. Depends on the shirt for me.
You don't want to get the stains, man.
Depends. Yeah, if it's a
Oh.
super tight shirt or not. But yeah, no, I always put my shirt on first, then kind of just
Deodorant
Unless it's a
first.
button down.
Deodorant first.
Like
Shirt,
on the edge,
and
man.
then I pull it out and down, so it doesn't.
Well, why would you just put on after and then you don't have to do that?
Because if I do that, then I got to stretch the arm and then put deodorant, and then the arm's all.
But you're
loose.
not putting it in here.
You're going in the
You're
arm?
going underneath like this.
I gotta stretch the arm like down.
Oh my
Why are you
God.
going from there?
You go through the sleeve?
Oh, you want to go from underneath?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull it
I
up.
think everyone does.
I've never done it, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking. I do it before.
Yeah.
I do it before I put my shirt on.
We're gonna fast forward to Fouad in his bathroom tomorrow. Like,
Ooh.
I'm gonna do a story tomorrow. Put it in my sleeve.
Reaching down his sleeve like
I've never ever. The only time I've done it before, like after putting my shirt on, is if I forgot. I was like, "Oh fuck, I forgot," and I have to go back in.
yeah.
And then I'll go through my sleeve, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, that sucks."
The only time I don't do it with my shirt on is when I wear my really tight black V-neck.
But that's the time.
then I just go
That's
through
the-
the V-neck.
No, because then if I pull it out, I'm stretching it. I don't want to stretch that. You know?
No, but that's the time you would do it most because it's black, and you're more likely to get like.
Yeah, but I'd rather get the pit stains and stretch that thing and not look as jacked. You know?
But can't you roll it up from the top and then put it under here? You know what I
What do you
mean? Like roll your shirt up.
He doesn't
And then
want
put it
to
under.
because he
No,
feels.
I don't
like-
want to.
Oh,
He
you don't
doesn't
want to
wanna-
touch it at all.
You know,
I
doesn't
don't want
wanna
to touch it. Once
stretch
it's
it.
on, it's not being moved.
Oh,
He's
so you
got-
gotta
we-
spray. You gotta go spray.
You missed the
like,
conversation.
moving like a robot.
got-
all the-
He's got.
Stretch his fucking thing.
He said he's got 5 super tight V-necks
Four.
that he wears.
Yeah,
4
yeah,
that he wears when he goes out. So he doesn't want to stretch it at all. He wants it to be skin tight.
yeah. I thought you meant you were going like through the V-neck.
No,
Okay,
That'd be amazing.
that's dumber than what I
that
said.
would be amazing.
Yeah,
Especially with your chest.
like,
Yeah, especially with your chest, that'd be pretty hard to do.
So how many swipes, Mike? You're the one saying no. 2 swipes?
2, 3.
That's probably plenty, but I feel like it's not enough.
I need a good coating.
Yeah, I need a
do
coating
3,
too.
4. I probably do 3, 4.
I don't coat the edges though. I just go to the meat.
Oh, well, you don't
Yeah.
cover the area.
I'm not concerned about that. The meat is the problem.
Yeah,
You think
Where the
the-
crevice is the darkest and the dirt and the wettest.
you're right to the
No air in
nucleus.
there, man.
you think the stink is centralized to the center?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta agree with that.
No,
That's the warmest area, probably.
no.
It never gets in the air.
No,
Right.
but the whole crease. This whole area is creased.
I mean, maybe there is more sweat glands into the center bit though.
Yeah, but
would-
if it leaks out, it's not going. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
cover the whole thing.
Yeah. Let's find out. Google
Yeah.
it. Anatomy of the armpit.
My OCD with things like that, though, I have to count every time I do it. You know, like make sure it's even on both sides. Like you got to make sure it's. I can't like randomly throw in swipes in there. It's got to be the same.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do that. I don't count. I don't know exactly.
Oh no, it's got to be like if I'm doing 1 5, the other side's 5.
Let's see. Oh, that's a little too
I
deep.
mean, this is out of our fucking depth here, bro.
Yeah, this is that's we got it. We need some more simple pictures there for that.
Because we need a biologist here.
How's this one, Paul?
Which one? That one's better. Yeah, that one's better. That explains it. Thick sweat.
There's no. How come there's no sweat on this chick?
Seems weird.
Wait, this girl.
Different glands. Different glands.
Okay, this is way too confusing for me.
Yeah, no. I don't think we're gonna get what we want here.
They're right there.
Here, wait. There we go, right here. Apply 2 to 3
2 to
strokes.
3 to.
Fuck!
Wow.
What the fuck?
Wow, Mike's got the perfect amount.
Is
But-
20? Is
wait,
20?
wait.
It's 20. It's too much.
20 wipes too much.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
read it though. Read it though. Start at the center of your armpit and work your way outwards and all.
Ah, see,
Oh,
We're all right. We're all right.
yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't. I can't cover my entire armpit with 2 or 3 strokes.
Well, you guys probably got bigger armpit area than most people.
Stick. You
Well,
only
not the
need,
mic.
this says you only need 2 or 3 swipes. Also.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, we're all Mike's right, and me and Ian have to find a more efficient way to cover that area.
Yeah, we have the distribution right, but we're overusing.
Too many coats.
Yeah, Mike's got the distribution wrong, but the dosage right.
would you rather marry your first girlfriend? No, I already read that one on the last podcast. Best training session you've ever had with another bodybuilder, and who was it?
Ooh.
Paul Lauzon.
Yeah, thanks, Fouad.
You're welcome, brother.
Fouad Abiad.
What level of bodybuilder does it have to be here? Because like I've trained with like, you know.
I don't think it matters. I think if you can remember what your best workout was, who was it with? I had some good workouts with Cedric. Aside from Paul, I would have to say I had a good workout with Cedric a couple times. Who have I trained with? I trained with Sean Roden. I never got to train with Branch. I haven't really trained with that many bodybuilders, to be honest with you.
I've trained with probably less than you, man. I've really been trained with no one. I've trained with like Chris, Brett a few times. I trained with Martin Fitzwater once. I trained with JP once, but I was a day or 2 days out from Spain, so I wasn't really training. I've never trained with James or like any of those guys. I really haven't trained with a lot of people, man.
My best training sessions have come at home with Paul, just getting fucking stupid.
Yeah. Mine are with like Mark or Julian or like my close buddies, you know?
People don't understand when you go away to train, like if you're away, like for SciTech, for example, and we're away in Paris or whatever the fuck it is, you can't get in the right frame of mind to have like an insane
your
training
home gym and
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I had a couple good workouts with Cedric, but they weren't like the most insane workouts I've ever had or nothing. Because you're traveling, you're not eating the same, you're not, you're dehydrated from fucking flying for 10 hours.
You're not used to that gym, the equipment, whatever.
That's
I've definitely had some good training sessions with Brett. Me and Brett have definitely had some good ones in Florida.
Yeah, but you were there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's a place where you lived.
Yeah.
So like you were still kind of
You're used to it.
Yeah.
Mike, anything?
I had some back when I was competing. I had like there was a time where Darren was training a bunch of different guys, and I had a couple of I had a good span there where I had a bunch of good training sessions with Ben Kolsky, sessions. And there was other guys in the mix too, like I don't know if Jerome Bravo.
I was going to ask you if you trained with Jerome.
Yeah, I remember Darren trained him too. Yeah, he trained John Aiello.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize Darren trained Ronaldo also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the end, I think.
Yeah.
Where's Ronaldo at these days?
Ronaldo's he owns a gym in is it Markham, Mike?
I think it's like Scarborough, Markham borderish with Jeff Chan.
Yeah.
Fitness Element.
So he owns a gym out there.
Yeah.
He's actually training one of our athletes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Michael Lontock, the guy getting ready for our show.
Oh yeah.
He's working with Ronaldo. And so me and him trained chest the other day, and he was doing some of the same stuff that like I was instructing him to do, like with his chest and some of the stuff Mike talks about. And I said, "Are you watching Mike's videos?" And he goes, "Well, Ronaldo worked with Darren also, so they have some of the same training cues."
Oh wow.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I forgot Ronaldo worked with Darren."
Those are
Ronaldo's a fucking fantastic poser too.
Very good.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like my first few years as a pro. That was like all the guys I compete against, like him, Santana Anderson, Mike. What's his name? Mike
Johnson.
Mike Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Paulo Almeida. Remember that guy?
Oh yeah, from BC. Yeah.
Paulo.
I talked to him a couple days ago, actually.
Henry Pierre. I did a lot of shows with Henry Pierre. Me and Henry Pierre have probably done 5 or 6 shows together at least.
What happened to him? He was good for a little while.
He's too big.
He's just training people in Montreal. He did Classic for a bit and then retired. He looks like he's just like, off the sauce, like enjoying life. He's got kids.
He was doing well in Classic.
I think ultimately
fourth at the Olympia.
Ultimately what happened with I don't want to, this is my guess. I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but he did bodybuilding and then Classic came around. Mm-hmm. And I think he knew he fit better into Classic, but I think he's too tall to like fill out his frame for Classic.
Okay.
Like I think he's always going to be on the smaller side compared to someone like Chris or Ramon or Urs, because he can't fill out his physique or else he'll go over the cap.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I see. Okay.
Like he's too tall.
It was hard for him to meet the cap.
Yeah. It was yeah.
Yeah, because he was open bodybuilding when he turned pro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So he had to come down to Classic. So for him to actually fill out his legs and fill out his arms, he would go over the cap for sure.
The show I did actually in Portugal, him and Samson had like a battle they're like 4th and 5th, I think. And I remember like them doing a 2-man kind of the two of them, Samson and Henry Pierre battling it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it had really nice shape. It really nice
did.
Okay. Oh, I have to ask you this, Ian. Somebody messaged me. and I thought this was since you're a resident gay guy.
Yep.
This guy messaged me, said, could you please ask Iain if I'm able to suck my own cock, does that make me gay? And I enjoy it.
It's masturbation. It's fine. Yeah.
Paul, why are you so certain?
Most men, I'm sure, if they were able to, they would.
100%.
Yeah, but is it different than jerking off?
No,
it's jerking off with your mouth.
You're not going to blow in your mouth though. As long as you don't blow your load in your mouth, then you're not.
I'm not going to come in my mouth and swallow it, but I'm definitely going to try. You know.
What a definition switch that was.
Wait, what?
Jerked him off with my mouth.
It's just if that was possible, we would just call it oral masturbation.
Yeah.
You know?
If you come in your own mouth, does that make you gay?
Well, then
no, it can't be gay doing something to yourself per se.
But you don't want that in your mouth.
I don't know.
But like, yeah, don't do it. You know.
Yeah, you don't want that in your mouth.
No, but wait a minute. I'm trying to.
There's something wrong.
Just stop, Paul. You're not the resident gay expert. We're asking Iain here.
There's a very simple answer to this, which we've discussed for years.
It's not only gay if it's gay. It's different.
No.
If you could suck your own if you could suck your own cock, I'll give you that it's oral masturbation. Okay. But if you're like, I'm going to come in my mouth and swallow it, I think you may be gay.
Yeah. You may be, sure.
But you're most likely you're gay.
Sure. I mean, the probability is probably higher if you did a poll on it, you know, but it depends. Like, it also could be a guy that just like has some kind of fetish for like
cum in your mouth. That would be gay. If you're a guy that has, if you're a guy that has fetish for cum in your mouth, you're probably gay.
Or like a fetish for like,
I would think so.
I don't know. There's some weird fetishes out there, man. But it depends if you're still. You could do it and not necessarily fantasize sexually and want to fuck men, you know. But like you said, the probability if you're doing that is probably pretty high that you are gay as well.
I would think so.
Yeah. I don't think many straight guys are going to intentionally come in their mouth and swallow it for pleasure.
Paul, I'm shocked at how much of a line you're drawing here.
That's a hard line too.
You were like,
I don't think there's any room there.
No. But I find it funny because you're 100% certain that if you could suck your own dick, it was totally okay.
Yeah.
But then there's such a hard line there between like that and blowing your load.
Well, I think if you want cum in your mouth, then I think you got to be gay.
Yeah. What if you get a little on your face by accident?
I'd be. You have to be really careful. Like, you'd have to like, you know, you got to make sure you pull back in time. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to pull out in time, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Your pull-out game's got to be strong.
If you get it,
very strong.
When you're on top of your own body,
right? And you got to snap back quickly.
You're scorpion.
If you get it,
right?
Wait, Paul. If you get it on your face by accident, but you enjoyed it, are you gay?
Yeah. If your reaction is this, then you're not gay.
No. It could be like you could be like that. You could be like. But then you're like, that's not.
But then you're like,
oh no, then you're gay. Then you're gay. Yeah, you're gay.
It's a good moisturizer.
What's this? He's good.
I heard it's good under the eyes.
Yeah. Like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Then yeah, I think you got something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. There's a whole lot of people that do a whole lot of weird stuff out there. So like, just to say that they would be gay for doing it is obviously probably not 100% correct. But as a generalization, if you're doing that, there's probably a pretty high probability that you enjoy other men's cum in your mouth as well.
So I've been getting some DMs from gay guys just from all the conversations we've been having.
Asking for my phone number?
Asking for a guy. Yeah.
Is he single?
They're like, will you talk to Iain? Will you talk to Iain for me?
Oh, by the way, let me forget. At the end of this, I have like the best story for you guys.
Okay. I can't wait.
No, but I just wanted to say, and I don't know if it means anything. We're totally fucking around. Like, I just hope nobody's actually really offended. Like, we could care less.
Who's offended by this? What
I don't know. I don't know. I just feel
blowing loads at our faces. How's that offensive?
I wasn't talking about that.
You were laughing along, Mike. You're involved.
You participated.
Guilt by association.
Jerking off with your mouth, I'm down with that. That's cool shit.
As he drinks from his pink sippy cup.
Which member of the podcast would be your favorite to cuddle with? Let's skip that one.
Whoa.
Nope. Nope. Would you have become a wheelchair pro bodybuilder if something happened in your career when you were a pro where after you would no longer be able to use your legs?
No, I'd just retire.
Fuck, that's a tough one.
I get into something cool wheelchair sport, like
Yeah.
Basketball.
This would be my opportunity to get back into track right there, you know?
I was gonna say I'd rather do like a long distance. Isn't there long distance like
There's whatever you want.
wheelchairing?
Is there wheelchair rugby? Is that
Yeah.
Is there? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just get into like track, like 200-meter fucking wheelchair races, you know?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Are we in a wheelchair from the beginning, or were we pros first and then we were in a wheelchair?
No, you were
I think
pro
you're
first,
pro
then you had
first,
injury. You did you got injured.
I don't think
Yeah.
I could. I don't think I could, only for this reason. When I had enough injuries that training wasn't as fun for me, that's what told me to retire. So if all of a sudden I couldn't squat or anything anymore, bodybuilding wouldn't feel the same to me.
Yeah.
So
You take up something else, probably.
yeah, I would find something else to do that was challenging.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be tough. Do you guys believe in the Illuminati or Freemason stuff? Mike?
Sure.
You're a resident conspiracy theorist.
Stupid question. Next question. Yes. yes.
How? Tell me how. What is it?
How
Tell you how what?
Tell me what. Give me like an overarching summary. Give me an overarching summary of what the Illuminati does.
Whatever you want to call it, whether you want to call it Illuminati or whatever, I just believe that there's forces and powers that be that are beyond like our constructed view of what government is and like this and this. I believe there's powers that be here that are above that are pulling
100%.
the strings of those people.
Oh yeah.
So whatever you want to call it. I don't know what
beyond-
it's called.
Puppet
I
masters.
don't even think that's like a conspiracy at this point. I feel like that's like people must know that's a reality, you know?
Well, because no, but this is why I think people think that. I think when people think of what Mike said, they think of like these shadowy figures in hoods that are meeting somewhere in the dark of night.
Like eyes
So I
wide.
would imagine it's very hard to break into that realm of power. So maybe there is some weird shit going on, whether it's as weird as people make it out to be, who knows? But
what I'm saying is I think that's the reason why it's hard for people to believe is because they're imagining this fairy tale-ish cult. Whereas what I think it is more like the heads of massive corporations are basically telling their fucking the people they're donating money
politicians and everything.
Yeah, they're like, you're going to do this because this is what I need.
And we're
even
doing
if you look at like the people who've had the most money over the last like 100, 200 years, like I mean, have controlled the banks, owned banks, like
Rothschilds and that kind of
Rothschild. Like these people have unlimited power and unlimited capability, and they also control the fate of nations in their hands, right? So it's like, do I believe in the Bohemian Grove and all the sacrifice? Like, I don't know, but I wouldn't put things past people, but I'm not trying to live my life thinking that shit is going on, to be very honest with you.
I'm not saying like that shadowy figure shit doesn't exist. All I'm saying is I think the reason conspiracy theorists
think it's so outlandish
because the thing is, you program people with like the craziest extreme measure of it, and they're like so unbelievable.
Well, that's also because
what
movies make it out to be in a lot of ways to sell tickets. Like
that's not
media. But in a way, by doing that, you discredit the thing that it really might be, because you're like, you make it seem so extreme.
Right.
That's what
but it's not just it's the movie thing. It's like I've actually heard conspiracy theorists talk about those shadowy meetings where people are in hoods and blah blah. And I'm like, okay, that may be happening, but that's not what I think when I think of people pulling strings. I think of the head of Coca-Cola buying up the fucking lake so they can own the water.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of conspiracy shit I'm talking about. It's like it's more power through finance than it is power through secret society.
Or the people who fund political campaigns.
The people who own what's it called? Is it Blackwater? No, not
BlackRock.
BlackRock.
Yeah,
like the huge hedge funds.
Yeah, like that's the shit I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
They're right there in plain sight. They just
and then there's the people that may or may not control those people, and you have to wonder like what kind of influence those people have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you think there is people that control those people?
Yeah,
you do.
Could be.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm just wondering, like,
Just people who stay
It's
out
not so
of
much
the-
controlling them like they have more power than them, as much as like they have something on them. So
Yeah.
I have this on you, and now you're going to do what I want you to do. This whole, like, if we get into the whole Epstein thing and shit like that, that's all that's based on. That's why all these people are on
But
this.
I think that's the part that makes it hard for the average person to get on board with your conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because if you say to the average person, even as you're saying it to me, well, the reason the head of Coca-Cola is doing whatever they're doing is because the person above them knows they slept with someone else or they fucked a little kid and they don't want to get out. Then normal people are like, this sounds like bullshit.
Then-
But if you just said, hey, they have a deal so they can both make more money, so they've arranged to do this thing, whether it was the train derailment or whatever conspiracy thing you want to talk about, people are more likely to believe that if it's a financially driven motive.
I think there's still a lot of people that actually think that like the political systems and stuff are there completely to help us and good, you know?
Right, they're there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
There are a lot of people like
1,000%
that.
they're not.
I think people still think like that this stuff is crazy and the government's there to help you and like all these things. They still don't understand that or still don't think that it's all secondary, you know?
Yeah.
I got in an argument with a someone I consider very intelligent about the virus, and they were completely on board with whatever the government said. They're like, I trust the government. I'm like, why?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Why?
Right.
I'm like, everybody's making.
They've been caught lying and in
You can look no further than that and see
Yeah.
how deceitful and how fucked up
100%.
things can get, right?
Just that one thing.
If that thing was so crazy and that thing manipulated people's opinions and their whole life, imagine what the capabilities are of things that aren't seen and you know nothing about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think most of the reason why because people are too afraid to think that
That's what
things
I'm
could be that bad
Well,
or that
they're-
crazy.
So they don't want
They don't want to think
There's
that.
there's comfort in that, in not thinking
Right.
that. You know?
Right.
I was just going to say that your world would be destroyed if you thought the government was out to get you.
Right. Or not out to get you, but just not out for you. They don't give
Well,
a shit.
It's not out for you. It's completely
yeah.
Right.
self-serving agendas. It's not.
Right.
We're not there
It's
to help
also-
the people. It's
It's
not.
also created to, like, especially if you look at in the States, right? Like, you see division of parties, red and blue down there. The people they'll fucking fight each other over it.
Yeah, they'll go to war over it.
And they'll refuse
I've gone to
business
war
with
over
someone. If someone finds out that, like, you're a Republican and they're a staunch Democrat, I won't do business with you.
Yeah.
I'll leave this deal. Like, I won't fucking talk to you. Like,
Yeah, but Canada's not far behind that, man.
I think we've
Yeah.
become more like that in the last 10 years
so
or
people
so.
are like, and then you see that, and you saw that division almost bubbling to the surface with COVID, the virus. So it was like, you saw like where people started to fall. Like, I don't want to think this way. I'm really starting to think something's fucked up here.
Yeah.
And the divide shifted, right? So like, people really separated.
And media amplifies that, I think.
Yep.
I had a massive argument with my brother over this.
Mhm.
Me and my brother.
People lost friends. People lost
Yeah.
a lot of friends during COVID. I mean, virus.
Well, I mean, I didn't listen. We didn't like stop talking or anything, but we had like a really big argument about, because I was like, I think the vaccine's bullshit. I can't even say that. I don't.
Or
think
at least
I can
had
say
your reservations.
I had
Just
my
bleep, just bleep it.
I think the vaccine's good for everybody. I have to say that, so I'm saying that now. But yeah, and he was right along with it. So we had this, like, we butted heads a little bit on it, and I'm like, so
Yeah.
even in households, marriages, and fucking brothers, and
Yeah.
fucking.
And a lot of people have come around since then, but still a lot haven't either, though. I bet you
Little
think.
too late.
Sometimes I wonder
Yeah.
if honestly though, I got to tell you this. So I'm more on your guys' side with the way I think about the government and all this other shit. But sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe it's not as crazy as I'm making it out to be.
I'd rather be crazy than be naive.
Yeah.
Really? Maybe not.
Yeah, I'd rather have a tinfoil hat than be fucking.
Me too.
But do you think that the world's always been crazy? Like, look at like World War II and Cold War and stuff like that.
Paul, but we talked
The world
about
is so fucked up, man. Like,
Wait a minute. The reason the world wasn't crazy is because people had one source of fucking news to look to.
Yeah, that's true. Social media.
So
and stuff
whatever
like
they were
that.
told, they were like, that's what's happening.
yeah, but now it's even worse when you have 1 million and then people all can give you their news.
No,
So
it's
Right.
better now.
No, it's worse because there's 1 million different conflicting bullshit. Like, I can go on Instagram tomorrow and be like, I saw the fucking Sasquatch running down my street, and people could think that's
okay.
reality.
I agree that way. So listen, so it's worse because there's more outlets, because there's more confusion. but it's better because you have more sources to look to for your information. Like what I'm trying to say to you is this, Ian, think of this.
To me, it's like too many hands in the cookie jar, though. Like if say you're a bodybuilder and you're asking 15 different coaches for information to peak for a show, you're never going to get ready if you're getting 15 conflicting opinions.
Just hear me out for a second. Let's say we're in the 50s and there's one fucking there's 3 news networks. They're all controlled by the government.
Yeah.
And the vaccine's being released.
Same as today, though. Yeah.
No, it's not the same as today.
No, the big ones on TV, I mean, though,
Yeah, but you have so many independent news sources online, like Russell Brand, Jimmy Dore, Matt Walsh, like Ben Shapiro. You have people, The Hill. There's so many I could name, right? So you have a whole bunch of independent news sources that are giving you both sides of the coin. So you have a little bit more knowledge, even though it's a little bit more confusing. You could see more.
I agree that you can definitely see more, but more to rifle through and more confusion, I don't think is necessarily a good thing. And I also think it's also then hard to decipher, like you say, these independents, but we don't know their ulterior motives. We don't know their agenda. We can say that they're just trying to get the news out, but we don't know that. They could be doing it for monetary gain. They could be doing it to push their political or religious agenda,
What my point is, though, is when you have one news source, it's much easier to propagandize an entire country.
Absolutely. Don't disagree. So I agree 100% with that.
So if you have World War II happening and the government, the news says, this is what we got to do or else we're all going to die. Everybody goes with it because it's the only fucking news they have.
Yeah.
Right.
You see when the virus first happened, there was like people did these, I guess you'd call them conspiracy theory people, but they did these clips. So they're showing broadcasts from like all over North America.
Yeah.
With the same verbiage, same talking points.
Yep.
And it was like in sync throughout this, like Minnesota, like Nevada, like this and this. It's like it's in sync and it's delivered as a message to like make everybody understand and think the same thing, right?
No, and that's why but that's why I've personally tried to find independent news sources online. Yeah. That will tell you. But then
they do shit like discredit them and put on fucking things like, oh, this is fake news and this is this and
but then I almost have equally as hard time believing those because I'm like, now their entire agenda is just to discredit mainstream media, even if it's not necessarily wrong. So it's like now you create a conflict on both sides fighting to be right,
But wait a minute. It depends if you actually listen to them. Like, so
that's your choice to believe them, just like it's someone's choice.
But hear me out for a second. So when I watch like The Hill, for example, it's like these two people. It's a guy and a girl that do it.
I know what it is.
Like Crystal and Sagar.
Crystal and Sagar, yeah. So they do the news. They don't always disagree with the mainstream media.
Okay.
They pull out things if they didn't tell the full truth or they didn't, so I'm like, when I see that, I'm like, okay, that seems more believable because they're telling you the news part of the story, but that they're also telling you the rest. Right. But so I'm like, wait a minute. You're right. So one thing you're right about is everybody has their own choice to watch whatever news
in that same breath, what then they're telling you is the truth. You're believing is the truth.
Well, because I'm a grown adult and I can think of what common sense is.
Well, but see, it's the same thing as someone believing MSNBC.
When somebody, no, it's not because
that's when my dad watches CNN. They tell him the news. He's like, this is the truth.
No. It's like this. It's like when someone says like Nancy Pelosi is worth $400 million and it's because she's inside trading. They would never say that on CNN.
Sure.
Right. But if they tell me that, then I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense because how the fuck is a senator worth $400 million?
Sure. So there also could be perfectly plausible answers to it.
That's fine. But the fact that one news source is talking about it and one news source won't cover it is a red flag for me.
I mean, look, I'm obviously agreeing, and I said from the beginning that all these mainstream media things are politically driven, 100%.
Yeah.
And then I think other ones are less politically driven because they're not funded and things like that. I'm just saying we don't know anyone's true intentions.
I agree with you.
What's the news? We never can know what someone's true intentions are. If they're to discredit or if they're to spread information, or even the information they're telling us is true, factual, and these are the wrong, and this is the truth, could also be wrong.
I agree.
It's all just opinion,
I agree with you, but ultimately what I'm saying is when you have more than one source of news, you have then your own reason as an adult
to take over and make those decisions.
What sounds like it makes sense.
100%.
Versus when there's one news source, you have no choice. You're like, this is what they're telling me. I don't know any different.
And also,
at that point, then the choice is to believe it or not to believe it. It's much more binary.
Yeah. The same key is like, because I'm sure we all know people who only watch like mainstream media.
Yeah.
And during even this last time that we went through with this whole shit, like you'd have those same people, they'd even come to you and be like, they'd say something and they kind of look at you like, does that make sense to you? And you're like, I don't know. Does it make sense to you? And that's like, you can see their like wheels spinning.
Right. But they didn't want
It
to.
doesn't sound right as a human being, as an intelligent person, what you're hearing isn't making sense to you or not computing. Then it's like, yeah, then let's go find these other things. There's nothing wrong with watching everything, right?
It's like this is a kind of news story. Like when they say something like Bill Gates sold his stock, and then the next day he gave a talk about, or not the next day, but very soon after, gave a talk about why the vaccine wasn't as effective.
Sure.
I'm like, the normal news won't tell you that happened that way, right? Independent news will. They'll be like, yeah, he sold all his stock, he made fucking millions and millions of dollars, and then he gave this speech where he said, yeah, it probably wasn't as great. That's then you can commonsensically go, okay, well, these people aren't even covering it. Or like, look, the perfect example, the protests in France. It's like millions of people protesting, not one mainstream news outlet's covering it.
Yep. Yeah. So,
When you see something like that, you commonsensically go, okay, there's something wrong that they're not covering this.
Because they don't want to show people that they have the power to like make change, right?
yeah.
So then
Especially like
they don't want to inspire you.
Yeah.
So I feel like what you're saying is right, Ian. Like you do have a choice, but I feel like all I'm saying is more choice is better, I guess.
I think nowadays with digital media, things can be so manipulated too. Like you look at a story, like remember like back when Hillary made that story about Tulsi Gabbard, said like she's a Russian asset.
Yeah.
Even though there's no truth to it. And she recanted it like a week later, but put it out there. So
the recant doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's gonna get even
Even
scarier
now with like what do you call it? Like
with AI, things are gonna get
AI,
crazy.
yeah.
AI, yeah.
Yeah, what's
They're
the
gonna
word
they're gonna
for it? Like where they like make it look like you're talking, it's your face and stuff.
I don't know the name, but I know what you're talking
deep fake.
Deepfake, like when they deepfake stuff, like they can make that 100% believable. So now someone can put out a clip of someone saying this or doing this, and then now it's spread all over like it's news when it's not. It's like you can't
put one.
My choice now is like I just don't believe anything I read online.
I think
like,
that's good.
Whether it's I just take it all in, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of formulate my own opinions, but I think they all have an agenda. I think everyone putting anything out has some kind of agenda.
I agree with you. I try and. But
I guess then that's agreeing with what you're saying is that I'm taking a ton of different things.
Yeah.
I don't think any of it's factual, and then I kind of pick out the pieces that make sense to me.
I'm the same way. There are people I trust more, though. I don't know. I trust Russell Brand.
I trust Joe Rogan.
I trust Joe Rogan, but I feel like he does lean a little bit right, but I still trust him.
Yeah. It's just, he's definitely more of a conservative.
I trust Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain people I trust with certain things, but when it gets hard for me, especially too, with a lot of like American ones, especially, is there's a lot of their political views. There's no separation of church and state. And I have absolutely no tolerance for religion being into politics or into political views or into anything of making personal decisions for people. Religion has absolutely no place unless it's in your own household,
Yeah.
So like when someone's talking about like, look, abortion things for say, and like, even if like, look, say I'm against abortion.
Yeah.
Even if someone's doing that and their political stance on that is based on it's immoral from a biblical sense and this and blah, blah, blah. I immediately don't take it as a sound argument because it's not based in what I deem as reality. It's based in a sense of, morality, which is based off a book. It's not the same for me.
But is that because you're not a religious person?
No, because I think that religion doesn't have anything to do with politics and personal decision. I think that there's knowing right from wrong and knowing good from bad wasn't created by religion. Like they have sets of rules, these things, but it wasn't created that. If people know, we know things that are good and bad, and I don't believe in religion in any way, and I still know what right and wrong is and good and bad is. So I don't need that to be involved in my politics, And especially like I'm saying when it's influencing decisions, like that are based out of a religious standpoint. I just don't think it has any place in political view like that. If you want to do that within your own household and set rules for your children, or you think, great, I'm all for that. When you're extending it to people that might not have the same beliefs and you're doing as a political overarching thing, I don't agree with it at all. I think there has to be a separation of church and state. There cannot be an intertwining there.
So in North America, I would agree with you 100%. But if you're in a different country where it's predominantly one religion.
Oh, sure. If you're going to like a Muslim country or something, I'm talking about North America.
Yeah, I agree. In any type of melting pot country, I would agree with you 100%.
But even there, like what would be your argument for saying that it should be involved in politics over there?
Well, because everybody has the same viewpoint.
Okay, but why? I don't disagree. We all have the same religion. What does that have to do with our political sense here? If I'm making policies on schools and children and roads,
Well, not every.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with me believing in Allah or God or
Well, because ultimately, if I want my society to run properly and my culture to run properly, if we all have the same belief anyway, then
sure. Okay, at that point, then it's assimilation. I don't disagree.
What I'm saying is my government should be a reflection of my religion, since we all believe in the religion anyway.
If it's in a country like that where it is so, like, you're talking 90% of the country is all the same religion, then I don't disagree with you in any way there.
Because I think at that point the people would be for it anyways, because if they're all of the same mindset, right?
I think in some countries there's more of a marriage.
The only problem with it,
I just don't see it as being necessary. I think you can set good policy and things like that. I think in that sense, it's obviously going to be a selling point, because if you're running in for politics and your whole country is the same religion, you're going to obviously use that and your belief in the God and things that are going to solidify your foundation. But I think in politics, it doesn't need to have any correlation. There's none that needed to be.
I'll give you two scenarios. I want to give you two scenarios. So it can go horribly wrong, like in Saudi Arabia, for example. And anybody from Saudi Arabia that's listening, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I apologize, but the laws there are very stringent.
Yeah,
and they're based on the religion.
Yes.
So like, there's more hangings, there's stonings, there's shit that's like a little bit medieval, right?
Yeah.
So that's an example where the religion has been intertwined with politics and maybe has been taken to an extreme. But then you have a country like Dubai, where I just watched a fucking video like 4 days ago. A guy put his wallet and keys and phone down in this park. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we're going to leave for 2 hours. And we're going to come back just to show you that nobody steals anything in Dubai. Yep. They come back in 2 hours. His shit is there. The wallet has the same amount of money in it. Nothing's been taken. That's partly because of the religious view of the country. So there is good and bad. You can't always say it's bad.
I just don't think that it's necessary. Like when you're talking about when you're talking about things that are when you're talking about policy and these are things that are factual based, that are just like it's. I guess there's obviously some things that are going to be in a country that's that predominant of one religion. Then it's going to be a thing that makes sense. But in a country like North America,
but there has to be a framework, right? You can't just have policies and have ideas and create societies and understand. Oh, we all hopefully have the same framework. There has to be a framework, and you have to see, like you're saying, that there's certain countries
be based in a religion, in my opinion.
No, but it can be, and it has been.
Well, I don't think that's worked out overly successfully, to be honest.
Well, I would say
told you about a country where.
That's one of many. I mean, think of how.
But you see in countries like North America and USA, where the dilution of religion being in society is now creating situations where we have like little boys trying to chop their penises off and doing all kinds of weird shit, like where we're getting away from religion. We're getting away from the idea of family, and we're
I don't agree, because
we're dissolving that, right?
I think that we're getting away from family, but I don't think it has to do with religion.
No, but when you're dissolving the idea of religion and the ideologies of these frameworks you create, when you start dissolving them and creating your own normal, that's when there's misinterpretations. And I'm not a religious guy. I'm not like praying, going to church and all that stuff. I'm just saying there has to be a framework. And when you start messing with that framework, that's why you have these rights and lefts, right?
But what do you mean by a framework? Like, I don't understand what you mean by framework.
Right and wrong, good and bad.
Touch on that? Can I touch on that?
You don't need to believe in God to know that killing someone and running someone over is wrong.
It's where you learned it.
Guys, 1 second.
I didn't learn it. I've never learned a religion.
But you didn't learn it from yourself, but that's been passed down to you to understand that's wrong.
Yeah, but that didn't all come from religion. That came from people having common sense and thinking and understanding.
No, it came from religion.
100%. No way.
Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah, but the people before that weren't just like killing each other.
Ian, because you didn't read it yourself doesn't mean it wasn't imprinted on you and imprinted on society and understood to be a rule.
I understand that, but humans have been around a lot longer than the Bible has been around, and people weren't just killing each other willy-nilly before that. People understood right from wrong. Look, obviously society has progressed, but that's not because of religion,
Can I get in here for a second, please?
Sure. What?
There's I believe there are levels of morality. Okay. So it's not a yes or no. It's not like I'm either moral or I'm not. There are like, I might steal if I need to. I'll never steal. And fuck you, I'm stealing as many times as I can.
That's more relativity, but that's not. Yeah.
There's different levels of what I'm going to do in my life, right? What I think, what right and wrong, there are different levels, right? So I do think some of that comes from religion. I don't think all of it comes from religion. I think inherently we would probably know not to kill somebody or steal from somebody or hurt somebody. I think inherently we know that, but I think how extreme it is or how innate it is may also be something that was taught or imprinted, as Mike would say, or imparted on you by your parents, who may have got it from religion, or their parents might have got it from religion.
But what is needed in religion to make those observations?
Well, if you want the truth, Ian, what I think about religion is, you said there was people before religion. Mm-hmm. The reason I don't believe in religion is because when I think of religion, I think there was a period of time where people were fucking with each other. This is the most simplistic thing ever. But there's a period of time where people were fucking with each other, stealing from each other, killing each other.
Strong survive.
And someone said, hey, these books tell us how to live. And there was like all the fucking rules.
Well, no, before what we call modern religion, there was just other religions. People believed in Norse gods. They believed in other things.
Yeah, but those gods had
set
rules.
Of beliefs,
Yeah, but those gods had rules too.
Right? Yeah, they had rules. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not saying that the Bible is like the end all be all. I'm just saying there has to be a framework, whether it's the Bible, whether it's before that, whatever. There has to be something where we create a society that has a framework of rules and how to act and how not to act.
I know what's acceptable. And I think that's political policy that has absolutely nothing to do with religion. For me to sit there and say, okay, these are the laws of our society. We don't kill our neighbors. We don't shit on their lawns. We don't drive through red lights. These are policies that have absolutely nothing to do with my religious belief in any way. Whether you believe in one God or another or no God, these are all the same rules that we can abide by,
Yeah, because we understand that as a society, right? And I'm saying, like, I agree with you too. Religion and the concept of religion has been turned and twisted into a fucking disgusting thing in some places and in some countries, right? So we've taken this basic premise of like, do good, be good to others, all this stuff, and we've turned it into like, you don't have abortions, you don't do this, you don't do that, and don't do this. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we've twisted it into like, and like I said, the right and the left twist it and turn it into whatever they want it to be, depending on how they see it, right? Or person to person, they can twist their belief to however they want it to fit their bias, right? So I understand that, but I'm not saying like, I don't think religion should be the main, like, what would we do? What would Jesus do in this case? You know what I mean? Yeah. Of course not. We have a society.
I will have to say, I go back to what I said originally. I think in a melting pot society, it's too hard because you have so many different religions, right? But I didn't think of what Mike said, which is, I believe, kind of true. With the degradation of religion has also come the degradation of
families,
morality, and family, and the whole.
I think that's correlation, not causation. I do agree with you in that, but I don't necessarily if that's correlated through religion or if it's just other societal things with social media and like this hustle fucking mentality. Women be more independent.
Yeah, but if you think about it,
because think of before, like,
but wait a minute. If you think of that hustle mentality and you think of, women being alpha bosses and all that shit, that doesn't really coincide with Christianity, right? Like hustling and being the fucking alpha that has all the money in the world and flashing your cash and like driving your fast car. That's not really a virtue of religion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in a sense, sure. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you can kind of draw some parallels.
Yeah.
I think you can draw parallels because I think morality is morality in a lot of ways and that it has nothing to do with the religion.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot of people that'll point to, there'll be a lot of people that point to like, oh, you don't have to answer to a God. God didn't do this. There's not testaments, commandments. But you'll see in popular culture now more than ever, there's more satanic messaging than any that ever in history. There's literally like Little Nas X grinding on the devil and like fucking Sam Smith coming out dressed in a devil's outfit and fucking humping shit on stage. I mean, there's all kinds of weird shit going on where the symbolism is being now pushed. Whereas before Christianity and God and like God bless America was all being pushed. Now it's like this perversion almost where it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why are we pushing this envelope so much more now and onto like kids that are impressionable who are having their formulating thoughts and ideas now. We're pushing it onto them because when they grow older, that will hold and it will pass.
So
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do
Well,
have,
look at, like-
sorry, go ahead, Paul.
Like when I was a kid, like nothing was open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Sundays were family days. You know, whether you went to church or not, you know, most people did, but if Sunday was for your family. Like that's been gone for how many years now? 30, 40 years probably in North America.
Yeah, but see, this is to me, that has absolutely nothing to do with religion because, like, sure, things can be closed, but like, I've never had anything religious in my family ever. We still sat to dinner every night, every single night of the week. We sat and had dinner together. On the weekends, we'd have family dinner. Like, there was no religious essence of it at all. But that's not where these are family values that have no basis in a God or in a religion. I don't think they stem from there either. I think that the religion stemmed from humans' natural morality that was then put into writing and rules, not vice versa, you know?
Well, it's interesting. I do agree with Ian about one thing. You know, I remember watching a seminar or a TED talk or some shit with an atheist, and he was like, "Why do people think that you need to have religion to have morality?
It doesn't make sense.
People can be good without religion." But then I also think of what Mike said, and I do agree with that as well, because I'm like, whether it's your parents,
this is sorry to interrupt. This is what I think, and and this is why I said if it's in your household. I think if you want to instill religious values in your household because you think it makes you or your family better people, then I'm absolutely all for it. If you're not doing any kind of crazy shit and you're doing it to be a healthy, productive member of society and you're passing good values on to your family and your children, I'm all for it. But when we're talking at the political level, I think it just doesn't have a place. You know, I think within your own household, that's one thing. But when you're talking about the political level dictating for a mass of people, I think that there you should be working on facts and statistics and, like, you know, things that are tangible, and morality things, sure. But that's not what, when we're talking about politics, they're not arguing to debate whether murder is legal or not. That's not what we're debating in politics. You know, we're talking about small policies and things that have absolutely nothing to do with religion. You know, talk about if Justin Trudeau fucking taxes or whatever, you know, these things, like, he could be the most religious guy on the planet and still be doing these things.
but I don't think
a lot of the most immoral politicians are still very heavy Catholics and Christians, you know?
Look, so, well, I don't think they're true Catholics or Christians, or they wouldn't.
Well, they're using it as leverage.
They wouldn't be corrupt.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. They're using it as a political standing point.
But that's not real. But that's
pander to an audience that is of that nature.
But that's not real religion. Like, that's obviously somebody using it to their advantage.
I agree, and that's why I would agree with you in the sense of when you're talking about a country like Dubai. Okay, you know, when they're very devout and true to their religion,
when all, like, the mass of the country is of one,
and the
religion.
mass is all of one. I still don't think it's necessary. I think you could still make it perfectly fine without it, but I understand it's more of a necessity there from a political standpoint, and obviously wanting to be on the same page as everyone else, and, you know, using that as a thing, and also because, yes, that's the values that everyone in the country is generally going to share. So you obviously want to stay on that same page. You know?
So let me just say this. So I'm not a religious person at all, but the only reason I'm saying it's good in some countries is because one of the things that I've heard talked about in North America is that there is no fabric that keeps the country together anymore. Like, it's eroded to the point where even the flag was something that kept the country together. The national anthem is now something that half the country looks at as being bullshit, or the flag being a bad symbol. So there's no fabric to hold. Like, what is America?
Because
it's getting to the point where there's no fabric of the country.
Yeah.
So this is why I envy places like Dubai, where they're like, you know what? The fabric of our country is that we all feel the same way, which in some ways people would admire and other people wouldn't. But, like, there is a culture and a fabric that they all share.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So,
and I don't disagree with that, but I'm still not seeing the correlation to that into making political policy.
I don't. Well, I think if you all listen, like I said, this is tough to make. It's tough to make that argument.
I'm understanding it. Wait, I'm understanding it if you want to run for office and talk about religion and your belief in God, that's one thing. But when we're talking about, like, you know, when, like I said, with abortion values, let's say.
Well, I get it. This is what I'm saying. In a melting pot country, you can't do it.
You can't be using scripture to set policies. You know,
I get it. What I'm asking you is, so we understand in Dubai or wherever they have that. The religious thing is a fabric of their country because they all have similar views and similar religions. what is the fabric that's holding North America together? If there's religion is being shunned away, there's no morality that is equivalent anymore. Some people are like, we're not killing babies. Other people are like, well, it's not babies anyway. And like, nobody can agree on anything. The national anthem is racist. The flag is a symbol of racism. Like, no, we don't all want to speak English. Like, what is the fucking fabric that's holding the country together? There's none.
Right now, nothing.
Yeah, right now, nothing. And but I don't disagree. But we're talking about two different things here.
We are.
Like, if you're talking about something about, religion holding the fabric of a country together.
That's kind of how I meant it.
I don't necessarily disagree that is a reality in some places, and when you have a commonality among people, that it does bring them together. There's absolutely no debate there.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the downfall of an open society like we have,
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe being too,
but
free.
Not free, but like, there's certain countries that you go to where, like, if you take Dubai, for example, you have to assimilate. I'm not saying you have to become Muslim, but you have to be part of their society.
Right.
But you cannot.
You can't speak out against.
You can't show up and be like, "Hey, I'm American. I want to do whatever the fuck I want to do."
Right.
How come you don't have a Christmas tree at your fucking mall? They'll be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. Or shit on politicians and stuff like that.
Maybe one of the mistakes they did was saying, "Look, we want to welcome everybody, but you have to assimilate with our values."
No, and I think the people that do the most successful coming over here do assimilate with the values, but I think the values aren't necessarily religion. They're just the values of the society.
That's what I mean.
And I still don't disagree that I think having people have a commonality like that is always good, but it still, to me, doesn't have anything to do with sending political
I'm not making
because if that was the case, then in North America it would just be like, okay, we're a Christian society, abortion is banned for everybody.
I'm not making
I'm not saying I'm in that camp, but I'm saying everything would be very stringent. There wouldn't be any sway in politics because there would be no sides of values,
I'm not making that argument, but I think one of the things that North America did right was saying you can bring your religion and practice your religion, have the freedom to practice. That was a good thing. But I think they maybe went too far and not forcing.
So they're trying to be too inclusive.
Yeah, like maybe you should be like, hey, we're still Canada.
Assimilate. You
can be Muslim, you can be fucking
absolutely. Whatever. But this is our world and our society, and you do need to assimilate to a degree. Absolutely, I don't disagree.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, people hate politics, and we just talked about politics for an hour. We apologize. That's your fault. It's your fault, Mike. You're the conspiracy theorist. All right, we'll do one more, then we'll go because Paul's got to get going and Ian's hungry. Should you do big compounds to build a base strength, or if you know there are options that feel better, should you go with those?
Well, why can't you do both?
I'm thinking, is he saying big compounds like
squat, bench, dead?
Oh, I thought he meant like big compounds like drugs.
Yeah, like do only trend, no animal.
5,000 mgs of test.
Trend and anadrol only.
These questions always bother me, and like the same as like
it's always either or.
It's like if you could pick one chest exercise, like, but I'm not picking one chest exercise.
Why the fuck
am I going to do one chest exercise?
Right.
Can I tell you guys? I swear to God, ever since we started, and Paul can attest to this, I've always done everything in every workout. It's always been like meat and potatoes, like basics, then maybe a pump, then maybe a pump exercise, and then something like that's different and weird.
And very rarely are two workouts the same. Very rarely.
But like think of a chest workout. Okay, you're doing a chest workout. Your big compound. Okay, I'm going to do a heavy barbell incline press. Okay, go super heavy. My second exercise might be fucking cable fly. Cable fly press, squeezy shit with drop sets and rest pauses. And then my third exercise might be a super heavy fucking hammer strength flat press. And then I might do a pec deck after that, like.
Would you do them in that order?
No, but like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just asking. I wasn't sure. Okay. Yeah, no, I agree.
You're saying for the whole workout, it's not like I'm doing only super hardcore compounds or only flashy fucking isolations. There's a healthy balance of both,
Right.
Mike, you've done the same thing in your training, right? Your whole life, you pretty much done a little bit of everything, or was there a time where you just did heavy shit?
No, I just did everything.
Yeah,
whatever Whatever struck me that day.
But like, let's think of a chest workout. And you're only doing big compound exercise. What are you doing?
Well, wait a minute.
Bench only?
You're gonna hate me for saying this.
And
but
decline?
wait. You're gonna really fucking hate me for that. I'm sorry. But there was a period of time I remember, Paul, like I said, Paul can attest to this.
Incline, flat, decline.
No. I was working with Hani, and Hani was like, your legs suck. And there was like a year, I think, where we did no fucking isolation shit for legs. It was like we would go in and we would do leg press, squat, hack squat, maybe some walking lunges at the end, but it was all compound shit. And it fucking worked. It worked. My fucking legs.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's kind of leg training. Like, I mean, other than doing quad extensions, what really isolations are you ever doing for legs anyway?
Other than extensions, there's nothing else, I guess.
You know, like hamstrings, obviously you could do, you know, two different leg curls with one with a bent, like hip bent and straight leg, you know, there should be two different. But other than that, I guess
you could do like single leg presses, stuff like that for a little bit more isolation.
Yeah, but
he's right. He's right. Basically, we were doing leg workouts minus the extensions.
Yeah.
I wasn't wasting my time with extensions. I was like, fuck it, let's do the heavy shit only.
Yeah.
That's probably when your legs reel the most.
Sorry, Mike. I'm sure that probably bothers you too.
If it works, it works, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to answer that question. It's against the law. It says, what's the fastest you've ever driven a car on the road legally or not?
Oh,
I could say on
100 kilometers an hour.
Well, the 401's 110 now.
No, you just did it on the German Autobahn. How fast did you drive?
260 kilometers.
I've gone 260. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking maniac.
That was it was on a track. It wasn't at the German Autobahn.
I've done 240 in my Stinger quite a few times, to be honest.
Stinger. Buy a real sports car. Come on.
You don't want that smoke, okay?
I'm just busting his balls because he knows I fucking.
You don't want that smoke. The Stinger will fuck you up.
Hey, he was fucking shit on me when I had a Trackhawk. That fucking thing was awesome. Don't fucking start.
Jeep. Yeah.
I had a Japanese car for a long time. Who had rip on me every day.
It wasn't because it was Japanese. I'm not racist. It was fucking
it was because of that. He's like, whatever, Pearl Harbor.
No, it's because it's fucking ugly. It wasn't.
It was a nice CRV.
You don't remember Pearl Harbor, Paul?
Okay. What the fuck? Nope. Seen a guy seated on a dip machine with chains around his neck. Is he stupid, or am I stupid for not knowing this hack?
Is he doing it to hold himself down?
People do that all the time.
I don't think he's adding more weight. I mean, it's not stupid. It's an easier way.
Billowing chains over his neck. Guys do that all the time.
No, is this a dip machine? He said.
I think he means like a dip bar.
Oh,
it's a tricep press down machine.
Yeah, if you're doing it on a
that's what I was picturing. I thought, is he trying to weigh himself down so he doesn't come
sitting
up
down.
He's triceps jacked.
Okay, maybe though. I mean, that could make sense too, though. If say when you do those dip machines, it forces you out of the seat and you put weight down. Okay, still kind of weird, but I could do it. I get Melissa to hold my shoulders down sometimes.
Didn't the hammer strength one come with a seatbelt?
Some come with seatbelts, yeah.
Yeah.
Who on the podcast hits their wife the most? For sure, Mike. For sure, Mike does. For sure. Look at him. Just look at him.
Look at this guy.
I tell one lesbian story, and
he's beating up lesbians on the weekend.
I didn't hear your lesbian story.
What the fuck? Would you rather? No. I own a pizzeria. Sometimes I can't help it, but I eat a lot of pizza. And I am not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Would you do the same, Fouad? I did do the same. I worked
own a pizzeria. Anyone did the same.
I worked at a pizzeria for 2 years. I was a manager. I gained 100 pounds in that time.
Your family had to have an intervention with you. You got to quit that job, man. Getting big.
You're retired. Go ahead, Paul. What?
I got fired from 7-Eleven for eating all the muffins.
Did you?
Really?
Yeah. I worked midnights, and I had to make the muffins for the morning, and I go through a dozen or so myself, and they started questioning me about the missing inventory.
Where's all the muffins?
Yeah, and then I was on probation anyway, so they're like, "Yeah, you're not meant for this."
I got fired from a nutrition store because I was eating all the protein bars.
I got fired. I actually got fired from Popeyes for fucking nonsense. So I was working the closing shift, and I was going down to train.
Yeah.
I guess this is. I mean, what you can give me your opinion here. Maybe it's theft. I don't know. But
Probably is.
I was closing the store. I had ran out of my Vitargo. So I'm like, okay, but I was working the next morning as well, like at 11 or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, but they had a policy where you can't ring through your own purchases.
Yeah.
Like another staff member has to do it. So I opened a tub of Vitargo. I took some scoops out, but I left it at the store. So I didn't bring it home with me. I like left it in the back room, and then basically it was like I stole the tub and didn't pay for it. But I was like coming back the next day to work and pay for it. I didn't like take it home with me. Even if I did, I wasn't being dishonest.
How did they catch you? How did they catch you?
Yeah,
for
not
one
short
night?
a window.
Yeah,
doing
a camera?
doing an inventory count the next morning on card powders.
but didn't you know that?
Wow.
Oh, I don't remember, but either way, I just didn't even think about it. I was just coming in the next day, and I was like, I'm coming in the next day, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pay for this. Oh, by the way, last night I was working. Let me pay for this.
Ian's like, well, they're gonna count this tomorrow. Well, fuck it, might as well open it anyway.
I didn't know what the cycle count schedule was. No.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was theft.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't have fired if I wouldn't have fired you
I wouldn't have
myself.
fired you for it.
No.
They probably fired you for some other reason. You just don't know.
Well, the guy that was running the store,
They were
the
looking
guy that
for a
was running the
reason,
store
man.
at the time was having a bit of a power trip on me because he was a newer manager and I'd been at the store for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit combative to his new form of running the store.
Now we
But
have
yeah, the guys that like still work there and work at head office and stuff that were my managers before never would have fired me for that. There's no chance.
Yeah. This guy had a hard on for you for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I have to pee. One more question.
Wait, no, you got to stay because I got a good story.
Oh fuck. Okay. Would you rather watch? No. What? No. Fuck. I really got to piss. This happens to me every podcast now. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back.
Well, let's hear your story, Ian.
No, here, let's cap off the podcast.
Well, talk to you guys later.
I'll just tell the story now, and he can miss it, and we'll cut it all out then. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll wait for him to come back. It's a good story though.
So, Mike, you gonna be at the Toronto Pro too?
Yeah.
Good.
Now that I have someone to cheer for, I'll be there.
Yeah. It'll be a good time.
It's a rare thing for me to show up at shows.
Yeah. I can't recall receiving that one.
I'm bringing a sign for you and a pack of cigarettes.
I remember the first time. Thank you. Laurier Smooths, please. I remember the first time
when you win, I'm going to be like,
cigarettes on stage.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw you. Actually, I think you were there. 2013 Nationals in Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't competing, obviously, but you were there. I remember seeing you there, and I was like, "Oh my god, this guy is fucking huge."
I thought the same thing when I saw you. We were walking in a restaurant. We saw you, me and Jerome. And I was like, "Fuck,
yeah,
who the fuck's
yeah,
that
that's
kid?"
what I saw. Yeah, it was at a fucking restaurant, like right in the same plaza there.
Mm.
What's Jerome doing now, Mike?
I told Jerome that I'm like, you should be really fucking happy. He's not doing the show. I was like, it would not go well, man.
Yeah, and I think I turned pro the next year. Yeah.
What's Jerome doing now, Mike? He was doing some acting, wasn't he, for a little while?
Yeah, he's in some stuff here and there. He's just he's trimmed down a lot. He's just trying to like be in good shape and take care of himself. But he's doing well.
I saw him
He's being Jerome.
I saw him in a documentary. It was like a Hell's Angels documentary or something. Or it wasn't a documentary. It was I don't know.
Like had reenactments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We won't talk about that role. It's not his best role. Jerome, you're watching. We'll keep that out.
Sorry, guys.
I told my good story and you missed it. Sorry for that.
No, you didn't.
I did.
That was awesome. Anyway, talk to you guys later.
I just realized in this podcast we talked about closing the lid when we shit, deodorant swiping, and world politics.
And blowing loads in your face.
And blow
in your own face.
Am I gonna have all the religious people
with your mouth closed? Do not open
religious people going crazy on me for saying that, or
no? I think it's more the opposite. I think more people agree that religion shouldn't be part of politics.
Yeah.
And I just want to make adamant too. I'm not,
and I agree with that too.
Against religion if you're doing it within your own household, within your own confines. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's one more. Okay. If you and another member of the crew needed to start directly competing in businesses, what businesses and who would you want to compete against? 2 gyms, 2 car dealerships. I don't want to compete against anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to compete against any of you. Fuck that shit. I compete against Fouad on stage and he beat me every time.
All right, last one. Would you rather wear the same pair of underwear for a week or wear your mother's clean underwear for a day?
Dirty underwear.
Well,
Dirty underwear.
They remember, Paul. They're clean. Your mother's clean underwear. It's not that they've never been worn.
That's
They've
a
been
real
my
worn.
mom's
sticking point
70
for
something
Paul.
years old. I'm
Yeah,
picturing her
they've-
underwear are probably like my
They've
boxer
been
shorts.
worn. They've been worn.
Oh, they've been worn.
Yeah, they're new. They're clean.
They're clean.
They're
though.
not-
They're out of the.
yeah,
They're out of the. They're fresh out of the wash.
She's had them for 3 months, but they just came out of the wash.
My mom is a lot smaller than me, man. That's gonna be real uncomfortable for a week.
That's
My mom's
hilarious.
small too.
I'm gonna wear my underwear for a week. I'm pretty fucking clean, man. I'm good.
I'm not too worried about
A
it.
week in the same underwear.
I'll flip them inside out.
Because you can wear
I
them
knew
one
that-
way for 3 days and then
You know,
flip them.
this fashion
Oh.
was gonna fuck with Paul so bad.
Yeah, this one.
This tailor made for you, man.
What would you do?
Commando
It's like
for
a
a week.
nightmare.
My mom is small though, so I
No,
didn't
she's
think of
not.
the
You could
comfort
wear your
level.
mom's. You could wear your mom's granny pants. You got narrow. You got narrow hips.
I don't know. I might look. I might go if they're a big pair, like if they're like boxers, kind of. I might go with that.
One day
option.
is not that bad, but
Yeah. I mean, they're clean.
Just do it
you
on an
know?
off day. Don't train that day.
Yeah, they're clean,
They touched your mom's pussy.
but they're clean, Fouad.
They touched. They touched
Gotta
your
have that
pussy.
buffer between the zipper and your.
But they went through a washing machine.
Yeah, but there might be some stains. There might be some like discharge
Yeah,
stains in
yeah.
there. You know?
Oh,
Yeah,
you said
for
she'll.
sure.
You said she'll had it for 3 months. There shouldn't be any stains on them for 3 months.
3 months.
3 months.
You wore them.
3
Yeah.
months, sweet. For sure has stains.
You think-
Her
yeah, well,
her
if they're black, only
her
if they're
husband's
black, and I
probably-
can't see the
Black. This
stains.
is false. Same old. Black underwear always.
Her husband's probably turned her on a couple times.
Fucking hell.
I'm wearing the same underwear for a week though, man. That's
you can turn them inside out though. It's only really 3 days.
I don't think that makes it better.
I mean, you shit 3 times in 8 hours, so I don't know.
Right.
Your underwear is probably worse.
And my ass sweats too before I shit. So
every time
Yeah.
we learned today that every time you shit your ass sweats.
So that would be a lot.
Like a spidey sense for shit.
That's such
Yeah.
a weird thing.
The hair
guys said you
stands
do
up
it
on
too.
my legs.
My ass is sweating. I'm not trying to
No, I said my ass sweats if I have to hold my shit. Like
You're clenching.
That's because you're
Yeah.
clenching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it
Mike and
doesn't
Ian, you
just
guys
sweat
said
for,
you guys do
just
too.
sweat for no reason.
I thought we all agree that we all do that.
No,
No.
you're the only one.
You're on your own, bro.
I thought you guys were all in agreement on that. I thought that was normal.
Pull us into that world with you.
Debauchery.
All right, fuck it, let's go. Paul, what are you gonna do? A day in your mom's underwear or a week?
If they're black, they're big. They're like go down to mid thigh at least. And,
They're lacy.
her
They're
pussy-
lacy.
no,
and
no
delicate.
lace. I don't want no lacy.
Her
No, they're
vagina,
cotton, 100% cotton, and I'll wear them.
her
No, they're
vagina's
lacy and
touched them.
delicate.
But they're not. But they're clean. They've been washed since then.
Dude, your mom's vagina.
You're gonna sit in the same shitty, pissy underwear.
It's my own
for a
shit
week.
and piss though. It's not my
But for
mom's
a week,
vagina.
you know how bad you're gonna stink.
Dude, your mom's got hair on her vagina and stuff. It's like all
It's been disinfected with soap.
You're
It's
making
gone
up
through a
rules
washing
now.
machine.
You're making up rules.
Well, I'm just assuming that since if they're clean, they've gone through
You're
this.
bleached.
all right. Mom's underwear. We'll wrap it there.
All right.
Don't
All right,
fucking
boys.
title this that Paul wears his mom's underwear.
the title.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Let's have an old lady holding underwear in this
Yeah.
thumbnail.